True crime podcast Stolen Sister landed on Friday. You can listen to that and catch all episodes so far on the RTE radio player or wherever you get your podcasts. But now it's the Sunday Game Live.
Ayr, proud sponsors of the GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship.
Hello, recovered from yesterday evening's madness in Limerick. I'm not sure any of us have. And it is possible that today's two finals in Croke Park could provide even more chaos. Certainly the first, with another famous name in the cup, has a history of thrilling from start to finish.
This open start to the Joe McDonagh final continues. Goal chance for Carlow and they've taken it. The inaugural Joe McDonagh Cup winners. Aaron Dunphy drives between Tommy Doyle and Paul Greville. And on he goes. Oh, what a goal! It's Croke Park silverware for Laois.
And Antrim have won, and Darren Gleeson is elated. And that one's cracked in there by Kieran Doyle. And Westmeath are the winners.
They are brilliant goals. Antrim win the Joe McDonagh Cup.
Carlow are the winners. Their tails are up.
How important this day is.
I love the dreaming when I think. In the back of the net, it is Offaly, and they have won the McDonagh Cup. Safety in the clouds out.
This is a journey that seemed so unlikely when up until 6 weeks ago, Kildare had never won a single game at Joe McDonagh Cup level. They got it at the 10th time of asking and have since upset Carlow and Down and also Laois. And that defeat in round 4 put major pressure on Tommy Fitzgerald's men, but the latest of scores in their final game gives the Midlanders a chance for revenge. But Joe McDonagh Cup glory means so much more than that to all involved. It's silverware, it's progression to an All-Ireland preliminary quarter-final, and it's Liam McCarthy hurling for 2026. Kildare against Laois is coming up very shortly. And then it's straight into our second provincial decider of the weekend. 6 in a row chasing Kilkenny against Galway in Leinster at 4. And all watched by Neil, Joe and Jackie. And I almost feel like we've set it up for a fall with all these intros. But the Joe McDonagh competition already has been thrilling, has it not?
It has. It's delivered actually since its inception now. It's been a brilliant addition to hurling as a whole. It's given the teams who are chasing our top tier pack a real opportunity to both get a bit of national, kind of exposure, and also to give them a chance at playing at both their own level where they get to build up some confidence and step up and challenge some of the bigger boys.
And we have this kind of strange final this afternoon because apart from Kildare, I don't think too many people predicted that they would get there. Laois seemed to be favourites. They were here last year and yet they were thumped by 11 points by Kildare when they met earlier on in the competition.
Yeah, it's a kind of a novel pairing as such. I was in Leixlip on Tuesday night training under 12s myself and Ollie, and the excitement that the kids in Leixlip are, like, they're getting busloads up all around the county, and it's brilliant for Kildare, brilliant for Laois as well. Saw Willie Hyland coming in with his 3 girls there beforehand. Willie battled with Laois for many years, so the excitement levels for both counties is huge, and the prize obviously to get into the Liam McCarthy next year is massive.
It is quite phenomenal what has happened with these Kildare hurlers. We expect Laois to be here, we expect them to be challenging all the time. The fact that they hadn't even won a single game, they lost to Kerry, who were then demoted from the Joe McDonagh Cup final, and from then it's just 5. They've just flown.
Yeah, John, it's been an unbelievable story. You think of even Brian Dowling commenting on their targets for the year to remain their status, and Joe McDonagh, and nothing from that was a bonus, and try to get to the top 2. And here they are after losing their first game, and they're unbeaten. They've walloped, as we said, Laois already. They're in the final in Merit. Real momentum behind them compared to Laois, who've had a very disruptive year. If you think of where they started with the unfortunate illness of Darren Gleeson, Tommy Fitz has come in. You know, and they've kind of flattered to deceive and needed a last-minute goal, Carlow. But look, they're here on merit. They're going to have a cut off it as well. So 2 different journeys to get to this point, but what an occasion for both of them.
Well, needing a last-minute goal against Carlow was no mean feat. I mean, most people expected that Carlow would be the team here and that they'd be favourites. Yeah,
at the start of this year, you know, if you looked at all the Joe McDonagh teams, even and their experience over the past 3-4 seasons, Carlow were definitely my pick anyway. But we have Kildare here today, and what a story it is for hurling, really, in Carlow or in Kildare. And the journey that this group of players have been on. They hadn't won a Joe McDonagh game up until the 2nd round of this year's championship.
It's unbelievable.
And they haven't lost one since. So, you know, momentum is everything in sport, and I would not bet against them going again, you know, to push another win in front, because they've had a really different journey to Laois. Laois have been working with this group of players for the best part of a decade. They've introduced some newer players today because we're in Croke Park, and that athleticism is what they're going for. But Kildare are riding on the crest of a wave, and I do think that's going to be a big factor in this game.
Well, speaking of those teams, and a couple of changes to the one we're looking at now, let's get confirmation of who is going to line out for both Laois and Kildare today with our commentator, Ger Canning.
Thank you, Joanne. Well, there are no changes for Kildare, but their starting 15 today is backboned by the Boran brothers from Naas. Rian, the captain, is the full-back, while younger sibling Cian, he'll start at centre half-back. They've Dara Gearan and James Burke lining up in the middle of the park. Cathal McCabe fired in the first of 4 goals against Laois earlier in the campaign, on a day when Jack Sheridan got another 2. The highly experienced Jerry Keegan wears the number 15 jersey for the Lily Whites, while David Qualter is their free taker, and he's also their top scorer. Well, there are 2 changes for Laois from the published 15. Jordan Walsh and James Keys get to start today in place of Tom Cuddy and Ryan Mullaney. 9 of today's Laois team started the 2024 McDonagh Cup final, including the cornerback Diarmuid Conway. Goalkeeper Cathal Dunn was sub-goalie to Enda Rowland last year. Once again, Podge Delaney starts at half-back, while the team's captain this year is 22-year-old David Dooley from Clough Balacolla. Paddy Purcell and Aidan Corby shared 9 points from play last year, while the top scorer this time around is Tomas. He's better known to everybody as Mossy Keys, and so far Mossy has got a goal and 42. It starts here at 1:45.
And hopefully we're going to get a good one. You're quite interested in those changes for Laois, Joe. One in particular who stands out for you?
Yeah, I actually marked Jordan Walsh last year in a club game. We played Clough Balacolla in a challenge game. He's got gears, he's athletic, he's tall, he's about 6'2", he's good under the dropping ball, and I think those changes are a little bit, Laois are a little bit maybe worried about Kildare's running game and the legs that they have. So I think those 2 changes are trying to counteract that, definitely.
So that's what we're expecting to see Kildare play, that type of, they're just going to run hard, is it, at Laois? They're
incredibly athletic, and they've been working on that side of the game, obviously, and look, that's where it's at now. At this level, you have to bring that power, that line-breaking ability, but the loss of Ryan Mullaney, if that is, you know, a decision that Tommy Fitz has taken to bring Ryan out of the starting team to facilitate a more athletic, younger player, it's a big call on a big day when you're most experienced, and in my opinion, as good a half-back as is in the country, actually, over the last 5 or 6 years, is to be removed from the starting team. Big call.
Wow, and we do have 2 very strong characters in charge of these teams. Obviously, you would know Brian Dowling. Tommy Fitzgerald, we know, came in late for Darren. We wish Darren all the best with his recovery from illness as well. But late November is when he came in, and there have been issues. Obviously, Chad Dwyer has left the panel under some strange circumstances in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and backed up by 2 very good coaches in Niall Corcoran and Richie Root as well. But look, Brian Dowling will be very meticulous, has had unbelievable success in terms of Kieran's College, brought that through into Kenny Camogie, and now has taken on the really great work done by David Hergy in Kildare. So these guys, they know the game inside out. They'll be well set up today. I just wonder in terms of the big game player, when you look at that Laois team, Paddy Purcell, you think of the job Diarmuid Conway did last year on Adam Screeney. Hurt is an amazing thing in hurling, Joanne. You see it last night in the park, pumping through their veins. That hurt that Laois carried for 12 months. That's a dangerous weapon for that Kildare will have to fight today. I just look at that Laois team. and they just have a bit more quality all around the field. It's early in Kildare's progression. They're here on merit. They're going to have a cut off it. We're in for a great game, I think.
They'll definitely use that hurt, because it's small things that tip the scale. It's like the great Paul O'Shea, a grain of rice will tip the scale in whatever favour. And you even saw it last night. It's fine margins that make you win or lose, and that could be the hurt of even 3 weeks ago of losing to Kildare by 11 points or whatever it was. That could be the difference today.
It was fascinating, listening to Brian Dowling. He did this great interview with Michael Verney, and he said, despite all, and he had hugely disappointing days with the Kilkenny Camogie team, he said that defeat to Kerry on the opening day of the Joe McDonagh was the worst he has ever felt after a game.
And it's easy to understand why, because you focus from the day the league ends, you focus on the first round of championship. You don't think about round 2 to round 6 at all, really. But they are, more power to them how they were able to actually regroup and respond, because that is actually more a test of a management team than being slightly up and down, because it's a big hit when you lose your opener. But they responded really well, and obviously he's Niall Corcoran with him in his backroom team. He's an exceptional coach and a very good aid to any number one.
It sounds like you're in a minority here. It sounds as if Jackie and Joe think that Laois are going to, their experience at this level is going to tip the scales. Of course, Kildare have been here on Christy Ring days and come home with silverware.
Yeah, look, the bookies rarely get it wrong. Laois are big favourites, but the Boran brothers maybe going to do a la the Downey brothers for Cork at 3 and 6, and stranger things have happened. That connection does help in the spine of your defence, and look, they have equally the talented hurlers that Laois have. If they can settle into this, I really think they can push them right to the wire.
And it's an absolutely beautiful day for it at the moment. As you can see, it has been changeable as the day has gone on, but hopefully we have yet another thrilling Joe McDonagh Cup final. They're almost ready to go, so let's head up to our commentary team. It's Joe Fortune alongside Jar.
Thank you very much again, Joanne. Yeah, it's the 8th McDonagh Cup final. Kildare in their very first final. For Laois, it's a third final. They were here in 2019. Eddie Brennan was the manager at the time. They won it that day. They were here last year again against Offaly, and they lost narrowly. And there is Tommy Fitzgerald there, who took over as manager, as you were hearing, around the turn of the year. And alongside him, Niall Corcoran, the Galway man, who was a selector and coach. And there's our match referee, Michael Kennedy from Tipperary. Alongside me, Joe Fortune, who was the former Westmeath manager. Joe, probably no great surprise that Laois are here, but Kildare, well, they've been the surprise package of this year's championship.
Look, they absolutely have. They had a really good league campaign, George, a really successful and impressive league campaign. And then that first day out, like the lads were commenting, inside there, it's such a turnaround for Brian and the lads to bring them from that game. Hadn't ever won a Joe McDonagh match, never mind to get to a level like this. But we were here last year, Joe. We saw the hurt on that Laois, that Laois team last year. The wit of a post, conceded 2 early goals in each half. I agree with I think that hurt might just drive them on today to get to climb the steps.
Well, they've had interesting years already in the National League and so on. We've seen Kildare move up, we've seen Laois move down, but today, well, it's all about 70 minutes down there, chance to win silverware. Both of them will be still in the All-Ireland series, by the way. They'll be playing against either Dublin or Tipperary in the preliminary quarterfinals of the All-Ireland series next weekend. But today their concentration is on winning silverware, and of course next year the winner here would be playing in the Leinster Championship. That's a huge prize.
It's a huge prize, Joe, but the alternative to that, like the other side is, if you don't get out today, you're facing a really impressive Antrim team coming down who will want to get back to Liam McCarthy straight away after a disappointing year. And you've also got Carlow, after the way they lost the last day, they'll be hurting as well, wanting to get back up. So there's no guarantee when you go down, like Laois, it's 22. They were put down in 22 to Joe McDonagh, and it's been a long time coming back. So this is on both sides of it. It's not only about winning, but it's trying to get up to that level again, because you can't guarantee him being back in the next year.
There's Mossy Keys there, the number 11. I think he could be central to Laois's fortunes. He's had a very good campaign, a goal and 42 scores. One of the most exciting young players, I think, in the game. 22 years of age, plays for Camross. And there is the opposite number 11 there, Jack Sheridan. Jack, who got 2 goals in that match in Portlaoise about 5-6 weeks ago in the McDonagh Cup. And it was a big surprise at the time that they beat Laois on their home patch by all of 11 points. Will he have a big role today? Jack Sheridan from Naas. And we're reminded, of course, that Naas players have been here in the Leinster Club Championship. They know Croke Park. Laois know Croke Park. The match about to be handled by Michael Kennedy from Tipperary. And off we go. And straight away, the stalemate in the centre of the field. They're trying to sort it out there. David Dooley, the team captain for Laois, in the red helmet, trying to get some primary control over it. In there as well goes Ben Conroy of Laois. Finally breaking away is Paddy Purcell, and that's left in there, but it's going to drop short. Easy one for Paddy McKenna, the goalkeeper for Kildare. And then a pass out goes astray, and there's a Laois man onto it immediately, and a chance to put it up and over the crossbar. The shot was by Mossy Keys, and that has gone to the left, I think.
Yeah, to the left and wide. That's poor by Mossy. Would have expected there. He had that bit of time and space there off his left hand side to get it, but you know, huge ferocity so far, and 2 chances as well for Laois to get the opening score.
Richie Hogan gets that ball away downfield towards Jack Sheridan. Sheridan angling himself well, and that's a beautiful score by Jack Sheridan, and that's the opening point of the match, and Kildare have taken the lead.
Yeah, watch the pace of Sheridan here as well, like, you know, breaks onto the ball. He wasn't being caught, and that's something that the boys commented on earlier on. Have they changed the team, Laois, to deal with that half-forward line pace that Kildare have?
Cathal Dunn's puck out down as far as Aidan Corby. Had a very good match against Offaly last year. Into the inside forward line it goes towards Mossy Keys once again. Missed an earlier chance. This time he's trying to set up a colleague here. It's Corby once again, and out near the sideline he goes there. Cian Boran escorting him out there. It went off the Kildare player. It's going to be a Laois line ball, and lining up this one, ready to take it, is Mossy Keys once again. Goes short inside here as far as Ben Conroy, looking to try and get it back. Paddy Purcell had a touch on that one. The shot again drops short, and that's one thing the coach won't be pleased with, because Paddy McKenna's got a second touch and able to get it away downfield once again. And once more they launch it down towards Jordan Walsh this time. Walsh has it. Intercepted, but a chance to get it back once again. Kildare battle and win it. That was James Burke getting a touch. This is Cathal McCabe setting it up here for Jerry Keegan. Keegan looking for a support player, gets it there from McCabe. McCabe's shot has gone to the right hand side. First wide of the match by a Kildare player.
Yeah, and in fairness to Michael Kennedy there, like, he let it go, like, a lot of big hits came in around the centre, Ger, and I just think Mossy, that last chance he had over on the left, if he hadn't have missed the first, would he have went for it himself rather than propping it off? He's had 3 good possessions so far.
Cathal Dunn once again with the restart. Down through the middle it goes. A couple of players leaping for that one to try and get possession. Finally taken up here by James Keys. Fouled by Cathal McCabe. Free in will be the result. This was Keys here. He's a cousin, by the way, of Mossy Keys. And fouled as he was trying to get away from his man, and so it'll be the free taker who comes out to take this, his cousin from Camross, one of the key players in this year's McDonagh Cup campaign. Beautiful trophy, and of course it is named after a former president of the GAA, Joe McDonagh, sadly passed away in 2016, very sadly missed. Keys then to take this one. This one is accurately delivered and up between the uprights and over the crossbar, and he's off, and his name is against a point already scored. So teams level for the first time. Teams level, and you know, Mossy's had 4 good possessions now. It's a really good puck out. Really good puck out into the centre here. Trying to control it there was Dara Melville. Won back, however, by David Dooley, 22-year-old captain. Flung around there, Diarmuid Conway in some difficulty. Dara Melville trying to get it again, the number 13 there, waiting for it to come out is Cathal Dowling. He's the full forward, taken instead by Aidan Corby. Aidan Corby gets it nicely down here, beautifully down as far as Mark Dowling, dispossessed well by Cian Boran, and Boran sends Kildare back into the attack once again, all the way upfield towards David Qualter. Qualter unable to hold on to it, however. Ball on the line, and the linesman on this near side with his flag raised. The 2 line umpires today, Chris Mooney from Dublin and Niall Malone, are from Clare. Line ball coming Chris Ger would have worked with Michael over the last couple of games as well, and last year as well in a Leinster capacity and an All-Ireland series, so the lads would be well used to. We saw last night the importance of having the officials communicating well and looking, but both defences on top so far, some really tigerish defending. Jack Sheridan got that point earlier on across there towards Cathal Dowling, trying to keep it. Then it goes as far as James Burke, and Burke lets it off his stick and puts it over the bar. And the Naas man gets his first point of this final, and Kildare lead by 2 points to 1.
Kildare lead by 2-1, and again they just look dangerous every time the ball goes inside. Sheridan's on the back of nearly everything, and he's smart, and they've a lot of pace, and you can see that already.
Short puck out by Laois, out as far as Podge Delaney. Podge, the 26-year-old, playing at centre half back. Lee Clear playing it out, going after it himself. Lee Clear, real battler. Lee Clear from Clough-Balacalla in some difficulty there. David Dooley coming back to help out near his own 45-metre line. Plenty of options, able to get it back there to the corner. Very tidy play by Cody Comerford. They rate him very, very highly. The number 2 for Laois. He was a bit of an injury worry before the match. He's playing, however. Aidan Corby trying to get the better there of James Burke, unable to do so. Burke's lost his. In fact, it's Rian Boran lost his stick. Back it comes there to Dan O'Mara, and the wing-back sends it forward, batted back down by Cody Comerford once again. Darren Melville trying to win it, arm went in, referee says play on, an advantage being allowed to Laois, and they try to win it back down there, but the referee's going to bring it back, even though Ger Quinlan had won it in the air. You could see him there on the 20-metre line, and I think he's annoyed by that decision. He felt he might have gained more by being allowed to continue.
Yes, a great call, Ger. He had it, and Ger's a great guy to win his own ball inside, and he had won the ball. If you look though where Podge is back at 6 there, he's actually back in at 3. The space that's in front of him, he's calling the defenders back in, because there's 40 yards of space on both sides of him, and that's not something as a full back that you want to see in Croke Park.
So Podge Delaney, the former Carlow IT player, real star at colleges level. He's always been a star at Laois inter-county level. Ready to take this, still inside his own half of the field. Mist beginning to fall just a little bit. Up it goes, looking to land it, looks good. It's a very good free. Podge Delaney with a lovely score, and the teams are level for the second time.
Teams are level. What a score, what a distance as well, like, you know, facing into Paddy McKenna's goal, and, you know, a real leader for Laois hurling.
Paddy McKenna trying to drive that one down, but won instead by Lee Clear. There's no stopping Clear, and then in the end the ball was intercepted by Jack Sheridan, went back, won it, looks up. It's a very good ball to a 2-man inside forward line. In there it goes towards Coulter. That's David Coulter trying to make an angle for himself from outside the 45-metre line, way up into the air, and the man on the left, the umpire says to the man on the right, wave the white flag, and a very good point scored by David Coulter.
Yeah, and David's been around a few years now himself, and Jerry seemed to have got a new lease of life under Brian Dowling as well over the last couple of months, like, but a super score off his left-hand side.
Carl Dunn's puck out, not a good one, batted down by Darragh Gearan, but he couldn't hold on to it for Kildare. Instead it is Laois who are winning it in as far as Mossy Keys once again. Look at the pace of the man trying to go past Cian Boran. Still Keys, Boran tried to get to it. Good block by Cian Boran. Took the heat out of that one and allowed the defenders to come in to help, to work it out and to get it away to Simon Lacey. Helped away there in the end. Rian Boran, big long one downfield, racing back to try and get it is Jordan Walsh. Got the nod to start in place of Ryan Mullaney at left half back. He's fouled as he was coming out there by David Coulter, and it's going to be a free out for Laois.
But you go back to the tactical idea of as a manager what you want your defenders to be, the chasing, the hunting down there by young Bourne, and who's the man at the breaking ball then to clean it up on his brother as well. So like a serious bit of defending by Kildare.
Delaney's free, down, very near the sideline, trying to get possession there and doing well as Ger Quinlan, and he's forced out over the sideline. I think he was pretty much pushed out over the sideline that time, but it's going to be a line ball to Kildare. Strong man, good in the air as you were mentioning earlier, Joe.
It's intense in the tackling, Ger, isn't it? Like, you can see it when it's up close. It's really, really physical on and off the ball.
Paul Dolan rolling it back to his goalkeeper, Paddy McKenna of Kildare, and the Lily Whites try to get things going over on that far side. Out it goes there to Jerry Keegan. Keegan, the Selbridge man, sends it way down, and it's dangerously into Sheridan once again. And Sheridan is on the ground. It's got to be a free just outside the rectangle, and it was a dangerous situation from a Laois point of view.
It was, Ger, but where did it all come from? It all came from Paddy McKenna's puck out. Like, you can have all the stats in the world. If you have movement out the field and the ability of your goalkeeper to hit that moving target, the ball goes straight inside. And again, I'd say the Laois defender may just pick up a small bit of a booking here now.
Well, I think it's going to be a yellow card for Cody Comerford from the Harps. So Cody has got to be very, very careful now. He's only 9 minutes gone and he's on a yellow card already. Free to Kildare. David Coulter will be the one to take it. 2 goals and 42 points so far. 1 today from open play. So this to put 2 between them, and a very bright start by Kildare. Coulter with that very easy one, knocked over the bar and it's 4 points to 2.
Yeah, I'd say if you're Tommy at the moment, you're saying there's a lot of ball breaking down in around the middle for Laois. You know, they're a little bit tentative on the ball as well, and which is unlike them. You know, they need to get Paddy Purcell on more ball to try and get that ball inside into the forward line.
Cahill sending it way downfield, touched out once again by Dan O'Mara this time, out to Jerry Keegan. Back it comes, and they go back into the attack once again, or try to do so. That was a bit wayward, and it allows Lee Clear unchallenged to get there, play it downfield. Intended there for James Keys, unable to hold it. Kildare showing plenty of appetite, but Keys has it, racing away forward now. James Keys, and Keys sending that one to the left and missing the opportunity. Well, he'll be annoyed with himself for missing that one. Stays 4-2.
He really got away from the break like really well, used the pace, but you know, you need to be taking those opportunities and chances, Ger.
Kildare this time tried to target over the far side, but nothing happening for them over there because Aidan Corby has won it back. Nicely downfield once again. Taken up here by Mark Dowling. Dowling racing in. Hand pass there, intercepted well by Richie Hogan. There was a goal on there for a moment for Mark Dowling. He was the one who got that crucial goal against Carlow in the last match of the round robin. It came in the very last 30 seconds of the game from a 65. There was a whole group of players all in after it, and they were wondering after it who got the final touch. It was Mark Dowling, the number 13 there. So free in the outcome, and it's got to be Mossy Keys who will take it. This to trim the lead. Up and over the bar for his second pointed free. So 4 points to 3 now.
Yeah, real opportunity for a goal there as well. Just didn't get the chance to pull the trigger, you know, and after that, what happened the last day, that heroics of the last day down in Carlow, again, they just seem to be losing an awful lot around in the middle of the field here.
Cahill Dowling has done well, came out, reached for it, challenged there by Diarmuid Conway, an experienced campaigner. Conway wins it back, gives it in as far as Paddy Purcell. Purcell from a huge distance out, easily 60 metres from the target, but to the left, and that's a third miss already by a Laois player.
You heard Neil commenting earlier on, Paddy Purcell when he's on form, Ger, is one of the best, can be one of the best hurlers in the country. A year on from last year, the hurt of last year of losing it, but he'll be disappointed himself with that wide.
Laois have it again from the Kildare puck out, and they're once again laying siege. Down it goes once more, intended there for Ben Conroy. Conroy wins it up against Richie Hogan, the number 2 of Kildare. Going forward now with some purpose, shortening the grip on the stick and firing it over the crossbar. That's a very neat score there, scored by Ben Conroy, and the teams are level now for the third time.
And we saw last night, George, you know, the result of 2 or 3 weeks ago doesn't matter. You know, you can see already, this is a final. You saw last night with how well Cork did, you know, based on what the previous result had been. So Laois are well up for it. They'll just be disappointed in the back.
Yeah, one man was the target that time, but it was Cahill Dowling. Attracted 3 Laois players to him, and a little lack of discipline there. And that won't be appreciated by Tommy Fitzgerald, the Laois manager. Should have been a tiny bit more disciplined than that. Diarmuid Conway clearly pushing Cahill Dowling. Free in coming up.
Yeah, McKenna's puckouts are like arrows in around the middle. They're just bunching and breaking out from the centre, and he's able to find that runner from the 11 position all the time. So just a push in the back, just a bit over anxious on the tackle. Well,
David Qualter so far has proved to be a very assured free taker. Now it's a good distance out this, outside the 65-metre line. Not a great deal of breeze around just now. 2 points already against his name, one of those from a free. This to put Kildare back in front once more. And he's got it. Really good free taking.
Yeah, super free, and again, you know, under that bit of pressure, you know, to get them back 1 point up. But I'm really impressed with Kildare so far. Laois just haven't really found their real run at it yet. Again, they win a ball in the centre again.
Fabulous catch, and another shot going to the left, and a miss this time. It's a second wide, this time by James Burke. He has been among the scorers already for Kildare. Cahill Dowling succeeds the great Enda Rowland as goalkeeper for Laois, and they keep it moving and try to get it away to David Dooley, operating in the middle of the park with Fiacre C. Fennell. Fouled that time by James Burke. Free coming up, which will be taken by Paddy Purcell. 5 points against Offaly last year. Like he's going to leave it for Podge Delaney to take. Man from the Harps, given his debut in 2019 by Eddie Brennan. Year they won the McDonagh Cup. And also, of course, had a great victory over Dublin in the quarterfinals of the All-Ireland Series that year. Delaney way up into the air. Now, has it got the necessary accuracy? I think it has. Another fine point by Podge Delaney. He's an absolute master, and he levels the game once again.
Yeah, great score again. That's two really impressive frees from a long distance, Ger. And look, you have to give it to Laois. Like, Laois have lost two serious players this year in Cha and Enda as well, and to Tommy and to Niall and those lads, they've really gelled that group. So, you know, over what happened, I suppose, with Darren not getting a job, and we hope Darren's on that road to recovery, because he had got that job in Laois in the first place after doing a great job with Antrim.
That's Ben Conroy, and that has gone wide. So a missed opportunity then for Laois to have retaken the lead. Out it comes to the wings this time to Dan O'Mara. Plays for Maynooth, he's a student. Hitting it long down there towards Jerry Keegan, and Keegan can't take it, however, and in the end it is going to be Fiachra Fennell who will drive it back downfield once again. Down there once more to Mark Dowling. Really good hands to get it. A little block on Ben Conroy's shot, but Conroy got enough on it and unfortunately wasn't able to put it on target. That's 5 wides by Laois. Still 5 points apiece in the 2025 McDonagh Cup final, coming to you live from Croke Park on a day when the Leinster hurling final will be determined at around 4 o'clock between Kilkenny and Galway. So a big afternoon's sporting action here on RTE2. That's good work. That's really good work by Diarmuid Conroy. And Conway gets it down as far as Corby. Played inside towards Dowling. Touched it out. Beats Richie Hogan to it. Dowling, little hand pass out. Again, the hand pass not good enough. And Rian Boren, last line of defence, gets it out to the wing to Cathal McCabe. I don't know how many goal opportunities they've left behind already, Joe, but there have been quite a few.
And here's Kildare now away.
That's Qualter. Trying to get the better of Podge Delaney, taking his shot. I think it's gone off the defender. It's gone for a 65. David Qualter was just wondering, but this was what happened here just a moment ago, and that was the intervention of Rian Boren, the team captain, preventing an almost certain goal for Laois up at the other end at Hill 16.
Yeah, Rian and Keane are doing really well at 3 and 6, but you have to make that hand pass more concise, Gerald. That's at least twice it's happened on the breakthrough on the way in, where the hand pass has gone astray. And look, I'd imagine Niall and Tommy will address that at half time, because when you get inside there, your ruthless nature has to kick in and either go yourself or the pass has to be 100% accurate.
Just saw a glimpse there of Brian Dowling, the Kilkenny man who led Kildare to the Christy Ring Cup last year, and now here they are in a McDonagh Cup final for the first time. Once again, David Qualter from Maynooth, 65 metres out, looking to add to the 3 points he's already got. He's having a very good day so far.
Yeah,
one from play,
he's doing well, Ger, but
65.
The one thing that's sticking out to me is that inside, like, Laois seem to be on top in the full back line, and they seem to be able to break that ball to ground. They don't need to be giving away silly frees either. Like, they need to kind of keep that discipline in around the 65, because Qualter will punish you every time.
Lee clear, that ball goes in. Dowling comes out to win it, does well, lays it off smartly there to Fennell, and Fiachra Fennell winning the race this time, and the hook comes in on Rian Boren, and it's taken by the goalkeeper Paddy McKenna. But Rian Boren's intervention that time was critical. All the way downfield it comes once again. Kildare going back into the attack once more. Up towards Cathal Dowling, not able to take it. Diarmuid Conway has it instead, links up with his goalkeeper, who's Cathal Dunn from Clough-Balacolla. Out it comes towards Lee Clear, a teammate and clubmate. Down they go once more in determined fashion. Aidan Corby slips it to his right-hand side, back to Fennell, who made that long run a few moments ago there. Trying this one, and the goalkeeper takes it down well. And that's about 5 times now, I think, that the ball has dropped short into the goalkeeper's hands.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Ger. And again, you have to look at that. That can't happen at this level. You know, that's at least 4 to 5 times where the ball has dropped into Paddy's hands. And look, he'll take them up all day. He's a quality goalkeeper.
Paddy Purcell rolls it back to Fennell once again, trying to get things going for Laois inside. They've had an awful lot of possession. They've threatened time and again. But as you can see, the teams just have one between them. And that is a run there by Keys. This time it was by James Keys. Once again, that Kildare defence doing extremely good work. Dara Gearan, and the referee saw some holding inside. It's going to be a free for Kildare. Chance for them to push maybe 2 points up.
Yeah, Keane Boren, you know, Paul Dolan, Daniel O'Mara, like really having solid games in around that half-back line. You've called it a couple of times where the ball comes in, and Laois are getting quality ball into that half-forward line, but the 3 boys are well on top. Look, there's a danger inside. Like, for me, like, Paddy Purcell hasn't really been on that ball. Do you want him inside, maybe on the basis that he will finish if the ball goes in there?
Well, it's going to be David Coulter once again called into action here. He's had to take frees from a variety of different angles and distances from the target. So far, so good for him. And the 22-year-old composing himself once again now. Every opportunity is so critical, and he's doing really well. And that's 5 so far he's got out of that Kildare tally of 7. They're ahead by 2.
Ahead by 2, yeah, and deservedly so at the moment. No, I just think for Laois's perspective, they need to be more clinical up front. But inside, like when that ball goes in there, in fairness to the Kildare forwards, they're able to win that own ball, and Laois just seem to be giving away silly frees.
The Laois puck out works well this time. Down to Mossy Keys. Out to the sideline he goes, tries the shot. Oh, almost an impossible distance and angle. And that is 6 misses already by Laois. They're spurning so many opportunities.
I'd say Tom will be happy to get him at half-time, George, just to kind of reset that as well, because they're having an ample amount of opportunities to take advantage of it.
David Dooley this time helped well there by James Keys. In it goes, dangerous situation. Defenders almost getting him out of his way. Finally it is Richie Hogan who comes across, the Naas man, 26 years of age. Does well, wins that. Good link-up play between Rian Boran and Richie Hogan. They're big, strong, strapping fellows in there along with Simon Lacey, and they are withstanding nearly everything that Laois have been able to throw at them so far. 21 minutes are gone.
Yeah, 2 points up, and even the narrative all week, Ger, about the work that's been done in Kildare hurling, like it's a testament to the John Dorns and all those people that in Kildare have really pushed that idea of progressiveness and pushing Kildare to get back to the next level of hurling.
Great delivery as far as Cathal Dowling from the goalkeeper. In it goes, ever the threat. Here's Simon Lacey. Simon Lacey from corner back, all the way up, unable to get the better of Cathal Dunn, however. And the goalkeeper withstood that one, gets it out towards Paddy Purcell, couldn't hold on to it. Instead it is Dara Gearan trying to win it in there with Mossy Keys. Real scramble for possession. Cathal McCabe of Kildare takes it, hand passes inside to Cathal Dowling. Dowling trying to go crashing past David Dooley, not easy. And Laois have it back once again, and this time it's whipped away by Jordan Walsh. Out to the wings this time to James Keys. 2 men who were called in late in place of Tom Cuddy and Ryan Mullaney. And off they go once again, and it's Aidan Corby. Had a field day last year in the McDonagh Cup final, but this time away to the left-hand side. And the wides simply mount up. Corby hasn't scored so far. And that is now a total of 7 wides. That was very good play just a moment ago. Up at the other end of the field, it's the turn of Kildare to try and add to their tally, but that is their 3rd missed opportunity. This time it's Dara Melville with the miss. Puck out quickly taken by Cathal Dunn out into the centre as far as Paddy Purcell, an experienced man able to lift this team all the way down, beautifully collected here by Ben Conroy. He was away last year, unable to play in the final. He's stamping a bit of authority on it now with his 2nd point, and it's only their 2nd score from play.
But it's needed, like again, George, the last two shots on goal, at this level, it wasn't good enough, and I'm sure Tommy and Niall and that, and Brian that's out will address it at half time. But Laois just looked that little bit nervous, or it's when the ball goes inside and it goes in on Dowling, he's winning every single ball. Again into Ben Conroy, he's winning every ball. Put the ball in front of them and let them win their own ball inside rather than shooting from distance, which is not working.
Well, it'll be Laois possession, and it'll be Fiachra C. Fennell. The C refers to his mother's maiden name, which is Culleton. And it goes once again, this time towards David Dooley. Held on to here by Paddy Purcell with some difficulty on his hands and knees, able to get it into the middle, however. And then it is driven away down by Lee Clear. And Lee Clear clears the crossbar this time with a fabulous point from Clough-Balacolla. The 28-year-old puts it over and puts the teams level for the 5th time.
Yeah, super score by Clare. He would have been a big part of that team with Eddie as well, when they were there, has it been kind of blighted with injuries, but a super score from distance.
Once more it is Kildare, however, who take this ball forward. Jerry Keegan, that goal to go in, and that is a fabulous point by Keegan from Selbridge, the 31-year-old with his 18th point of this year's McDonagh Cup campaign, and Kildare go back in front again by 8 points to 7.
Yeah, every time Laois come back at them, Kildare seem to come up and get the next score, but what a score by Keegan there. He seems to have really got a lease of life now under Brian this year.
Fiachra Fennell over to Paddy Purcell, but well beaten by the midfield there, and it's once again Dara Gearan picking himself back up, but Purcell has possession once more, hammers it off the ground, tries to take it past Dan O'Mara, and O'Mara back, and Purcell's on the ground. O'Mara has possession, taking it out and then driving it forward once again. Good probing ball forward. Dowling might get in here, trying to get past Dermot Conway. Goalkeeper comes out, Cathal Dunn does well, slips a little hand pass back out as far as Lee Clear, change of direction, looking for a support player, getting it from Fiachra Fennell, and Fennell slips it away out to the right hand side, out towards Mossy Keys, being marked over there by Cian Boran. Boran certainly has a height advantage in that respect. Gets the ball, looks up, sees the movement of Simon Lacey once again. This is the second time he's got forward in the last 5 minutes, and Lacey this time hits the shot with accuracy up and over the bar. His third point of this year's McDonagh, and Kildare lead Laois by 2 points, 9 points to 7.
Yeah, and that all comes from Cian Boran, Ger. You called it there. What he's decided to do is, rather than allow Mossy in around those pockets of space, he's going from 6 and he's going man on man with Mossy as well, and he's really curbed his influence on it, and a super ball inside.
Clever play here by Aidan Corby. Corby hitting it down somewhat waywardly, however, and the goalkeeper decides to let it fall out of play there, and an 8th miss already by one of the Laois players, behind by 9 points to 7, as you can see. From the Kildare puck out on their first day playing in this McDonagh Cup campaign. They have it again, and James Burke is going forward here, stopped in his tracks there by James Keys, however. Hand pass by Jordan Walsh to the right hand side, driven away back downfield once again. Probing ball down there for Ben Conroy to get at the end of. 2 points already in this match. Conroy ever dangerous. Conroy going forward, and he's shouldered up out over the end line, and the ball has gone wide, and that is brilliant defence again by a determined cornerback, Richie Hogan.
Yeah, super Richie Hogan. You know, it probably goes testament to the name that he has as well, that played for Kilkenny, but really strong in the tackle, disciplined in the tackle, something that was commented earlier on. They're really disciplined inside with their tackling, and they're really aggressive.
Well, Richie was helped that time by Cian Boran, no question about that. Puck out once again comes to Kildare. Lacey has it, holds, tries to get it around Aidan Corby. Shortens the grip on the stick, flicks it forward. Across comes Dermot Conway to win it. Nobody putting any pressure on him. Down it goes once again. And they build with Fiachra Fennell on as far as David Dooley. Man who has a bit of a background in rugby as well. He's been part of the Leinster Academy in recent years. Nicely forward for Ger Quinlan. Quinlan tried to torment that Kildare defence. The referee saw no advantage coming immediately. So it's going to be a free in for Laois, and a chance for them to make it a 1 point game.
It's just the end product, though, Ger, isn't it? It's that ball that's going into the Laois forwards. It's good quality ball. They're winning it. In fairness to Dowling and Conroy, they're winning their own ball. Kildare's defence is really good, but just Laois haven't got that end product yet.
It's got to be Mossy Keys who will take this free. 2-pointed frees already, and this should be a fairly easy one for him. Straight in front of the goal. No opportunity for him to make any mess of that one. And he got his 3rd point and makes it 9 points to 8. It's a Kildare team that have won the Christy Ring, or 3rd tier competition, on 5 occasions. Been a bit of a yo-yo county in a way. Come not maybe good enough up to now for McDonagh, and too good for Christy Ring. And that one has been away to the left-hand side, and Jerry Keegan looked with despair as that one went wide. That's a 4th miss by Kildare. Today Kildare are turning it on and playing really well. And as you can see, they're ahead at this stage against Laois, narrowly ahead. Laois looking to try and level it up. 7 minutes or so to go to half-time. Good defensive work again by Kildare. They win it back once more, and Cathal McCabe has it. Trying to win the McDonagh Cup for the first time. Over to David Coulter it comes, taking on Lee Clear. And then the support player, Jack Sheridan, who got the opening point of the match. The referee has seen a foul from a distance away, and the referee racing towards Lee Clear at this stage just to explain things to him. And Michael Kennedy has already awarded the free in, and a chance once again for David Coulter to add to the 5 points he's already scored.
Yeah, once you wrap the arms at all, George, you know, you're going to allow the forward to get the free. But it's a huge thing for me. It's inside that they're causing problems. But like Laois are quite defensive there. But when Kildare get the ball, and when both teams get the ball, but when Kildare get the ball, Laois are worried about their pace, and they're not allowed to break that line.
Coulter, who got 113 in his last match against Down in Newbridge, and that assured that they would be here in this final. And he's now got point number 6 for the afternoon. 10-8
10-8, and it doesn't look like letting up either. Like every time Laois come back at them, Kildare seem to have an answer again and go again at them. So 2 points up after 30 minutes.
I think the big wonder beforehand was whether or not Kildare would be able to match whatever intensity Laois were going to bring. I mean, the surprise element went when they beat Laois by 11 points on their home patch, but right now it's Laois coming back, and Laois getting another score, and that time it's taken here by James Keys. So 10 points to 9. James Keys getting his first point of this McDonagh Cup final. From the puck out it goes here. 2 against 1 over there, should be gathered in by Laois and by Podge Delaney. Slipping it back out to Aidan Corby. Down along the line it goes to Ger Quinlan. Quinlan does well, gets past Dan O'Mara. Quinlan looking for a lead goal maybe. Goalkeeper stops him, however. Well played by Paddy McKenna. Stood up strongly that time. Played it out to the wing there as far as Cian Boran, and the referee has blown the whistle. I think it might be picked off the ground. It's got to be a free in.
Yeah, and look, people can be ultra critical. Like, in fairness to Michael, he's been up with the play for the whole game as well. He's allowed to be a bit physical. I didn't see that just a small bit of an altercation there with Mossy when the ball broke down, but he definitely touched it on the ground, and it's a good call by Michael.
So here it is again here. Yeah, it was just got stuck there, and the referee blew his whistle and decided it was a foul on the part of Cian Boran, the younger of the two brothers. He's 20. Rian in the number 3 jersey is 25. So this is going to be Mossy Keys to take this. 3 points already in the game, all of them from frees. That's 1 goal and 45 points he's already got in this campaign, and he's now got another one, and the teams are level once again. They are level for the 6th time. 4 points for Mossy Keys. Well, it's proving to be quite a final. There were those who were worried that Kildare might suffer stage fright and so on, first big day and so on against Kildare, against Laois rather, but they have certainly come here full of determination and full of self-belief as well.
Yeah, I think for anybody who's watched Kildare hurling, Ger, we were here one night, maybe last year or the year before last, with Nafina and Naas as well. Like, that Naas team, which backbones the Kildare team, have been really, really successful and been really, really impressive over the last couple of years. So I don't think the question was there from anybody who really watched how the progressiveness of Kildare hurling is coming on. But the big thing for me is, is there enough in that hurt from last year and from, I suppose, the narrative of what's gone on over the last number of months? Can they push on now and show that they want to get back to Liam McCarthy again? And
that has gone away to the right-hand side. That miss by Podge Delaney, that's 10 wides after Cathal Dowling was deemed to have thrown the ball. Well, Laois haven't been in front at any stage in the match so far. And here we are, just about 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. And that is an interesting stat in itself. Very much the favourites. Mossy Keys. Down he goes past Cathal McCabe. McCabe stays with him. Keys, another challenge comes in. The leg's taken from under him. And that's going to be a free in. And here now is the opportunity maybe for Mossy Keys to send Laois in front in the McDonagh Cup final for the first time this afternoon.
Laois seem to have got on top of that puck out from Kildare as well. That bunch and break that's happening in the middle. You can see the Podge that are kind of, they're getting to know the Kildare forwards just before the puck out is hit. But it's a big free now for Mossy to potentially put them one up.
A little bit of breeze blowing in his favour as well down there at this stage, supporting the man hitting the shot, and that is it inside? It is inside the left. Oh, he's put it wide.
Wide, yeah.
11 wides by Laois. So Kildare, after that let off, get away again quickly here towards James Burke, unable to hold on to it. Paul Dolan coming to help him out. Dolan in the green helmet, that's stolen away back there by Ger Quinlan. Slipped forward by James Keys. Down into the inside forward line again it comes. In there too, Mark Dowling. He was injured last year, unable to play in the final. And they've often said since that had he been there, it might have made a big difference on the day. David Dooley holding it, slipping the hand pass outside. Here's Corby, Aidan Corby racing forward through 2, 3, 4 players, and eventually the referee says he was taken down. A puzzled Cian Boran is quizzing that one. There were about 4 against 1. That was the first challenge there from Simon Lacey. Then he was stood up by Cian Boran, gets a free out of it.
I'm not too sure what else Keane could have done there, to be honest with you, because when your man runs straight down the centre, Keane stood up strong, big and strong. But in fairness to Corby, he was brave to take the man on, which is what Laois haven't been really doing in around that half-forward line. But, you know, there wasn't much in that. Yeah, it looks pretty soft, as they say, but it's Mossy Keys now. We missed one from a more tricky angle a few moments ago. So another additional minute to be added on at the end of the opening 35, stoppage time. And here comes Keys, and there goes the white flag, and that is Laois leading the McDonagh Cup final for the first time. With 35 minutes gone, 5 points scored by Mossy Keys, and they have all been from frees. They're ahead by 11 points to 10. Yeah, and if Tommy gets them in at half-time, a point or two up, based on the fact that they've had that many wides in the first half, he'll be delighted. But that's a great puck-out one there. Wonderful catch by James Burke. Takes it down, and Laois have it back. Lee Clear into the centre. Dermot Conway. They race after it here. Down it goes. Trying to collect it. Back there is Dan O'Mara, the wing back for Kildare. Out to the wings once again to Rian Boran, the captain. Over towards David Coulter's side, trying to get the better of Podge Delaney. He has it. A few more seconds left in stoppage time. They're a point behind. Kildare going forward. He's got a free in, and they should be level at half time. It's got to be a free in to Kildare. David Coulter, the man who was fouled by Podge Delaney, and Coulter will be the one who will take the free as well. Yeah, and 3 times now Gerard Podge has come out with that one hand. It's so dangerous, like, you know, as a defender, just that one-handed swing. It's just, especially with the pace that's inside there, and it gives Coulter a chance now to level it back up before half time. 6 points he's already scored in this game. The first of those was from open play. One of them, the fourth one, was from a 65. The others, in fact, they have two from open play, the first and the fifth. So he's been doing well so far. This to bring the teams level going into half-time. David Coulter, no mistake. 7 points by Coulter, the 22-year-old from Maynooth. And it's the 7th time the teams have been level in the game. It's been a very interesting opening 35 minutes to this McDonagh Cup final. Nothing to choose between the teams. Laois, on the balance of things, had a lot of goal opportunities which they didn't avail of. The Kildare defence was strong, it was tough, it was disciplined. We've seen some very good scores. It's very much to be determined at half-time. The sides going in here at Croke Park. Laois hoping to win the McDonagh Cup for the second time. Kildare in their maiden journey here in the final. At the break, it's Kildare 11, it's Laois 11, back with Joanne on the panel right after this.
It's all heating up now.
Oh, it is, yeah.
They should have never given us uniforms if they didn't want us to be an army. What's happening?
Rebellion.
I'm heading west. They won't make it. The country's too rough.
First things in Belfast?
Robberies, drug seizures, take your pick.
You left the hospital with another couple's son.
He is my blood.
Wherever you go, death follows.
Careful now.
Do you want to get to know me?
When you switch to Outsurance, you could save big.
My name is Mike Broderick. I am 55 years old and I'm from Ballybunion, County Kerry. My insurance went up significantly this year, so I heard about Outsurance and went onto the website and went through the whole process. Didn't take that long. I made a saving of about €143. The out bonus, I'd never heard of that before. 10% of your premium back after 3 years, claims free, into my pocket.
Real people, unreal savings. Outsurance. You always get something out.
Super value freshly baked bread. Just another loaf or proof that patience pays off. You see, our bakers care for their bakes, raising them like one of their own. Look at that. Baking fresh loaves that look, smell and sound a cut above. And at this value, it's the best thing since, well, you know yourself, super value. The difference is real.
Born with 300 bones, 10,000 taste buds, the ability to grow 0.5 centimetre in a week. Baby's development fascinates us. That's why SMA Nutrition has been researching since 1919 to pioneer baby nutrition with vitamin D to help support the normal function of baby's immune system, with the power to make you smile in an instant. SMA Follow-On Milk.
Welcome to a world where everything just flows. The new fully electric Kia EV6 with ultra-fast charging. The Kia electric range, available with 0% APR finance. Kia.
The Harvey Norman Big Sale is now on, with big deals on Whirlpool laundry appliances. Save €50 on the Whirlpool 10kg Supreme Silence washing machine, designed to deliver powerful cleaning with whisper-quiet performance. Now $849. Pair with the energy-efficient Whirlpool 9kg heat pump tumble dryer, with clever sensors and a handy steam refresh cycle to reduce creases. Takes the hassle out of laundry day. Now $799. And with our best price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? The Harvey Norman Big Sale, now on.
McCain, we are family.
Eyes on this lizard, Dickie! That fella is the reason they made me yellow.
Where there's hurling, there's Centra.
2025 Joe McDonagh final, and we have seen some absolutely outstanding defending during the opening 35 minutes. Some of the accuracy in front of goal not too great, and yet some of the scores we have seen have been pretty impressive too. At half-time, it is all square between Kildare and Laois, 11 points apiece. And here's some of the stats they may or may not want to see. Joe, Kildare have had 10 shots less than Laois. Laois only 22% in their shooting. That is going to cause consternation in the dressing room, isn't it?
Yeah, that might come back to haunt them in the second half. Like 27 shots to 17, 11 wides to 4. We see it here. I can't even blame the wind, really. We're here in the corner where normally the wind actually blows around coming in over Hill 16, but it's not too windy, so it's just something they need to work on. I hope it just doesn't come back to haunt them in the second half.
Neil did point out, as we were watching out there, that last year's final they hit a huge amount of wides as well. There were times it looked like they were cutting Kildare open through the middle, but as a corner back yourself, how impressive have you been with that full-back line?
Yeah, not so much the full-back, the whole defensive unit, the support play, the cohesion, and the Laois full forward line has looked dangerous, but any time they've broken the line, they've gotten bodies back. And particularly the Bourne brothers, Rena 3 and Keena 6, they've snuffed out any danger. Richie Hogan at cornerback has been excellent as well. They've got bodies back, and they're really, really physical. Really love this chance. Like, Laois are going for the juggler, break their man, break the tackle. Mark Dowling, who's been excellent in that first half, just reading the play and well able to use the ball when they come out. And once again, Laois, they're running at Kildare all the time, bodies back, a simple, a great hook. And that has really, really kept Laois in the game, or Kildare in the game, because if those goals go in, they're in trouble. Laois have only scored 4 points from play, but it's down, a lot of it is down to the poor shooting, but the pressure they're putting on. Big hit here from Keane Bourne, drives him out over the sideline. Huge momentum shift for Kildare, and they've, as a back six, they've been as good as I've seen so far this year. And
of course, you don't have to be a defender to appreciate it, because you said with about 10 minutes to go, if we were picking man of the match now, it's Keane Bourne, no doubt about it. But the Laois setup, Paddy Purcell's role, you said, would be key, as it has been for so many years. But also, how well have they done as the game went on from their own puckouts?
Yeah, Cahill Dunn's having a really, really strong game in nets. You know, he's picking out Paddy, dropping into that pocket, and no better man in the country to use the ball. And whenever he finds an inside forward like that, it's, you know, it's buns to a bear stuff. And he done it time and again. Like, look at the vision to set up this point for Lee Clear in the middle. Again, Paddy's dropping deep from the half forward line, picking up a pocket of space, and Cahill Dunn's able to find him. They're trying to find him all the time. Now this one doesn't come directly to him, but who's on the loop? Only Paddy Purcell again. Head up hurling. Here it comes out to James Keys, and it's over the bar. You know, he is. Whenever they talk about the Laois hurling greats in years to come, then it'll be the Pat Critchleys, it'll be the James Youngs, the Willie Hylands that Joe mentioned earlier on. You know, Paddy Purcell's name will be very close to the top of that list.
Absolutely. There you can have a look at where they are shooting from, where they're getting success, where they're not getting success. An awful lot of red on that. Kildare obviously have missed quite a few as well, but they have got a few scores from all over the field as well.
Yeah, and they've been working really hard, Kildare, in fairness to them. Like, they're set up really well, even defensively, but even in attack, and even their turnovers. Here, the first ball, it's a simple ball down the line, but I'd say it's worked on the training ground, because Jack Sheridan knew just run in behind, ball over the top, and straight over. And here again, they're just great ball across, flicks it out, and James Burke just pops it over the bar. And simple scores, but like, they've scored 8 points from turnovers as well, so that just shows that they're working really hard around the middle of the field, not letting Laois. Now Laois have got a few balls in, but there's loads of space in front. They're actually creating loads of space, and even from puckouts, Jackie, you mentioned earlier on, like, they're getting loads of space in front, and Laois are kind of going man on man, and it's suiting them in a little bit, but Kildare have options as well, and they're really good in the air as well. They're getting on the breaks, and they're working really hard, but they do need to get more shots at goal. That's the only thing.
The only thing you'd be slightly worried about from a Kildare point of view is, look, we've highlighted their brilliant defending, but that's because of the number of goal chances that Laois have created. Yeah. And also, they're having to be super efficient. They're having to work really, really hard. How long can you keep that going for? You know, it's going to get tough coming down the stretch, and that's whenever the mistakes creep in, whenever you are that little bit tired trying to execute under pressure. So
it's 11 points apiece. Are we going to see yet another Joe McDonagh final go right to the wire? It does have all the hallmarks. Find out in just a few minutes.
Ayr, proud sponsors of the GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship. From that small island, the story of the Irish tells the fascinating history of an island people who have truly left their mark on the world.
I can't do Friday or Saturday because I'm busy. I do care. What if...
Are you there?
No, look. Sorry, forget it. I just can't do this. Coming, Mum. What happened?
Over 1 in 8 people provide unpaid family care, devoting their lives to caring for their loved ones. At Lidl, we support Family Carers Ireland, so every family carer knows we care back.
Keep it back!
You're looking up, it's bright ahead.
How we use electricity can be smarter, cleaner and greener. Making your world brighter. Electric Ireland.
The €8 meal deal from McDonald's. Cheeseburger or mayo chicken, fries, 4 chicken McNuggets and a drink for guess what? That's right, €8.
New Sure Whole Body Deodorant. All day odour protection. Sure, it won't let you down.
Switching to Outsurance could mean savings on your car insurance.
My name is Dave. I'm from Dublin.
So I saw the ad for Outsurance on the TV and I said I'll give them a go at the time of my renewal. I saved €178 with Outsurance. Savings are really, really important, especially when everything is going up at the moment. The out bonus is great because I get 10% cash back, provided I don't have any claims within that period.
Real people, unreal savings. Outsurance. You always get something out.
Same again? Definitely. Midweek match? Definitely. For the grand old stretch? Definitely. The best tasting 0-0 beer in the world? Probably.
I don't know, Dad. I've just been away from it for too long.
It'll be grand, love. Now, on your bike. Just like our mammy.
Every connection counts. That's why Ireland can count on our network. Vodafone. Together we can.
It's all heating up now.
Oh, it is, yeah.
We're only halfway through the first of today's final and we see one team arriving just in time for the second. Kilkenny on the quest for a 6th straight Leinster title and a 3rd in a row under Derek Lyng. No sign of their opposition yet, but the fans have arrived as well. Galway, they haven't won their provincial crown since 2018. It was actually Micheál Donoghue who was in charge back then as well. And Kilkenny were the opposition, but they were also the opposition when Galway opened so flatly on day one of this year's championship. It's coming up, the Leinster final at 4 o'clock. But before that, we have the second half of Kildare and Laois to get to in the Joe McDonagh final, all square at half-time. And Neil McManus, I'm getting the impression from the three of you that you're kind of concerned about Kildare for this second half.
Yeah, they're working so hard to make Laois miss those really good opportunities that they're creating, and it looks like there's so much space in front of that Kildare full back line that we're going to see more of those chances created, and Kildare are going to have to be pulling out all the stops in defence, but they need to get Jack Sheridan into the game up front because he can be a match winner on his day.
You'd wonder would they put Mossy Keys in full forward at some stage with that space, because he's so tricky. And if he gets those chances, he's probably a bit more clinical than maybe some of the chances they've got in first half.
Well, there's still 35 minutes to go and there is nothing between them just yet, so it'd be very interesting to see what both teams can produce in this second 35 minutes. Let's go back to Joe Fortune with Ger.
Thank you very much, Joanne. I think we've enjoyed it so far, Joe, because both sides have done their level best to entertain the crowd swelling the whole time. Leinster final between Kilkenny and Galway, of course, coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, look, I agree with the panel there. The defending has been tigerish, aggressive, exactly what you'd want as a manager. But I'm sure Tommy and Brian have said, especially Tommy inside, like, the efficiency of this is not good enough, lads. You know, we went home last year, down the road last year, tears, upset, all that kind of stuff. But like shooting the amount of wides they've had, dropping balls into Paddy's hands, not good enough. Do you know, will they bring in the likes of, you know, the PJ Scullies, the Aaron Dunphys, the fellas with experience? And Kildare need more out of Jack Sheridan. They need more out of, you know, inside as well out of Jerry. They're well capable of doing it, but they're going to need a big second half. Can they hold on, or can they drive on? I'd expect Laois now to have a bit of a fire in the belly now for the second half.
Level pegging at the start of the second half, 11 points apiece. The teams were level 7 times in all during the first half, and straight away it's Paddy Purcell breaking through the heart of the Kildare defence. Still Purcell got the shot away, and it trickles in and it's got over the line with the very first attack. It may well have been Ben Conroy who got the final touch to it. Laois don't care. The run was made by Paddy Purcell. He was not stopped this time. Here he goes right through the centre. Goalkeeper in difficulty. And there was Ben Conroy, I think, just to apply the finish and to make it 1-11 to 11 points.
Yeah, Purcell straight down the centre, Gerard, you know. And again, he really epitomises what Laois are about. And I'd say he said it at half-time as well. Like, this is not good enough. Down the centre, back of the net. And it doesn't matter who got the final touch. They're 3 points up.
David Dooley sends it in as far as Jarek Quinlan, and Quinlan trying to get the better of Dan O'Mara, the wing back for Kildare. Kildare appearing in their first McDonagh Cup final, stung by that. Simon Lacey has it for them, drives it back downfield again, all the way down. James Burke, it appears, has gone in towards full forward, where he's been marked there by Jordan Walsh. Walsh, the number 19, slipping it back here once again to the waiting Diarmuid Conway, and then Fiacre Fennell belts it away downfield once again, missed by 1 or 2, but Mark Dowling has the opportunity of getting in on the end line once more, and there could be more trouble here for the Kildare defence. This time they stand tall and strong, and Richie Hogan from Naas spoons it back outside to the wings there, and they're able to move it outfield with Jerry Keegan back helping, and now taking off, kicking in front of him, racing after it before Diarmuid Conway comes across and puts pay to that would be a challenge and attack. Aidan Corby has it, hits it, and the goalkeeper stops it with his stick, then has to go after it quickly before he's shouldered there by Mark Dowling. And now it is Dan O'Mara's turn to bring it out of defence and try and set up Kildare's first meaningful attack of the second half. Cathal Dowling has it, looking for a point here. It's gone the wrong side of the post, and it is the 5th wide in all by a Kildare player.
Yeah, they brought Jerry out of field, Jerry Keegan out of field, and like he is a scoring threat. He has been for them all year, and you know, as much as he'll set up the play, I think they'll miss that inside.
Lacey sends it forward again towards James Burke. He started in the centre forward position, but now he's gone back into midfield again, it seems, for a moment. Lacey was being fouled. I think they're indicting Aidan Corby, and the man from Clough Ballacalla walks backwards, being marked by Simon Lacey, and it'll be a free anyway coming up, and the man who will take it once again for Kildare will be David Coulter. Well, we thought goals might be very important in this match. They were just reminding me during the week in Laois that last year they beat Offaly in the group match, scored a couple of goals that day, but when it came to the final itself, it was Offaly who got the goals in the final here 12 months ago. David Coulter, 7 points in the first half. He's a long way from the goalposts, giving himself every opportunity, trying to narrow it immediately, strikes it smartly, strikes it well, but to the left, and another one has gone the wrong side of the post. 6 wides by Kildare. Brian Dowling, the manager, on the far side. Out it comes once again, this time ready to take it away is Podge Delaney, helped out here by David Dooley. Back to Podge again, running into a challenge, tries to get it back. Kildare have it, however, and Kildare, stung by the concession of that goal, have responded quickly with a couple of attacks without exactly hitting the target, and there's another one that's gone astray, that time off the stick of Cathal McCabe. So following the goal, Joe, they've already conceded, they've already missed 3 opportunities down at the other end. Yeah,
and the big question, the response after the goal, you know, especially with that little bit, not lack of experience, but at this level as well, you need to make sure that that ball should have been fired over the bar, and Brian will say that to them as well. Look, you see with Laois, there's a fire back in them now. Like you can see by them that they're far more pumped than they were in the first half. So there's Mossy on the ball again now.
Mossy Keys from Camross looks up, sees who's inside. Mark Dowling's in there waiting, couldn't take it. Instead, it's the cornerback Richie Hogan, sweeping it out towards top of the right this time, out towards Coulter, hoping to get the better there of Diarmuid Conway. It's a very sticky cornerback, very difficult to get the better of. Ball eventually does come out, and it's to Dara Melville, and then it spools loose to Cathal McCabe, and McCabe, great save. Here's a goal chance. Oh, another one. Jack Sheridan had the chance. They'll get something out of it maybe with Melville. Dear oh dear, the referee's got to bring it back anyway. What a double save that was. Brilliant. Absolutely marvellous.
That's incredible, Jerry. You can put that up on any wall in regards to goalkeepers, what you expect from your keeper. And look, Laois were really this year, you know, the loss of Enda, but young Cathal done there, like what an incredible second save especially.
I don't know how he did that. Absolutely impossible, but it was brilliant. If you see a better save today in any match anywhere, I doubt it can be as good as that one.
Yeah, look, we built, I don't remember, like a couple of years ago with Nicky, you know, the hook he got, Nicky Quaid for Limerick when he came out that time, and he threw his body down in front of it. Like that's just incredible, a really, really top quality save from a good young keeper.
David Coulter anyway with the resultant free. The referee had Kildare on an advantage, couldn't get the goal, but they'll get a point out of it thanks to Coulter. First of the second half, that's his 8th in all. So now, following that goal they conceded, they finally, after 4 attacks, got a point on the board. 2 between them.
A big puck out to win here now. Like the lads out the field need to be aware that he's put his body on the line inside now to keep that goal out.
Batted down well by the Kildare players. On for Jack Sheridan. He had one of the goal attempts, and he's got a point now, and that's a point in each half for Jack. Got one right at the very, very start of the match. all of a sudden it isn't Laois who've taken control of the game, it's Kildare who fired back, and they're hitting Laois with everything that they've got.
It's a big response after the goal, Gerard. You know, steps now as well called, so now all of a sudden you're back to a level game if he gets this.
Diarmuid Conway caught, elementary stuff. Referee is Michael Kennedy from Tipperary. Here he is trying to dodge away from Cathal McCabe. Referee gets it absolutely right. Free in. Coulter will be the taker. 8 so far for him. And as Joe Fortune says, if this one goes over, they'll be level for the 8th time. 45 metres out from the goalposts. Very little breeze around, as Joe Canning was mentioning earlier on in the discussion with Joanne. And that is a lovely shot, and it's a 9th for David Coulter. Well, he's doing his stuff down there, and the teams are level 14 points to 1 goal and 11.
A big thing we were chatting at half-time as well is like when Jack Sheridan's on form for Kildare rocked, like they really move, and he's had an impressive start to the second half.
That's a much better puck out that time, straight to Jordan Walsh. Nothing Kildare could do about it. In it goes there towards Dowling, back out towards Keys, back up on his feet again, but the referee had whistled. It'll be a free in, foul by Cian Boran.
Yeah, quite high on Mossy there when Keane came out. Keane's had a fine game. Like, he's a really good player, as is the brother inside. Like, but again, high on Mossy, and this gives him a chance to put Laois back 1 up.
So Mossy Keys, whether it's from open play or from frees, he's a real danger. Today we've only seen him really as a free taker. There's an awful lot more in his game. And that one, as expected, goes up and over. So Laois back into the lead again.
Yeah, see Tommy talking to David Dooley there, his captain as well, like, you know, to try and push the players on. And he wants him at 11. He wants him sitting, making sure that he's sitting inside on James Burke at midfield.
Richie Hogan takes the short puck out for Kildare. Hits it way down towards Cathal Dowling. Dowling down there trying to get the better of his man, David Conway this time. Takes control of it, slips it back to Podge Delaney. Podge soloing out past his own 45-metre line. Out to the wings it comes here. And that is James Keys, and Keys ends up out over the sideline, and it'll be Kildare who will have the next possession.
What a hit you're out here, you know, out over the line, you know, shoulder to shoulder, real manly stuff as well. Like, and again, what you have to love, nobody getting up or giving out, or, you know, real manly physical stuff. That's what we all want to see.
That was Jack Sheridan, the man who got a couple of points already in this game. Here we go again with Jack hitting this sideline ball in, trying to hold on to it, but trying to win it. David Dooley, the team captain for Laois, battling there with Dara Melville, the number 13, and Dara Gearan as well. Finally it goes back towards Sheridan once more, slips it across the field, unable to hold on to it, however, and Laois have repelled that, and now they can move forward here with Aidan Corby. Corby blocked down brilliantly there by Simon Lacey. Lacey again tries to deny possession there for Paddy Purcell. Corby has it again. Into the centre it goes this time, and here's a scoring opportunity. Good play by Jack Burke, just to foil the attempt that time by David Dooley. And that's very good play there by Kildare, holding on to it. Rian Boran helped by his brother Cian. Well, down goes Simon Lacey. Not sure what happened to him there, but he's on his hands and knees, back on his feet now again. Dan O'Mara has it for Kildare, and they launch the next attack. Downfield once more, down to Melville. Dara Melville slipping it inside. Oh, an attempted cut out by Podge Delaney, doesn't work out, and the shot is by Jack Sheridan, and it's got over the bar. There might have been a goal there. Podge Delaney couldn't cut it out, and Laois were in difficulty.
Yeah, that vision inside just to see the extra man. It all came down here, like you show a clip to any team during the week about work rate and tackling, and more than anything else, discipline, strong, aggressive tackling, ball fired inside. And you know, he had probably had a chance to have a look as well, Jeremy, maybe inside, because there was nobody in there except just him and the keeper.
They're level for the 9th time. Kildare go again, and it's Paul Dolan this time. Dolan from a huge distance out gets a point. His 5th in this year's McDonagh Cup. Well, that's brilliantly done. He was one of 10 scorers for Kildare in last year's Christy Ring Cup final against Derry, and he's got a point here to put Kildare back in front once more. And again they come, and this time it's Cathal McCabe from Maynooth. Well, that's a wide. That's out 4 wides now in the second half. We had 3 in a row, and then that one making it 8 in all.
Yeah, I'd wonder at what stage as well, like, you know, if you're Tommy or Niall down there, do you think, like, if there's anything in Dunphy at all or Scully on the bench, do you look at them now? Because, you know, they're not winning any ball in that half-forward line at all, and both of those players are well capable at this level of stepping up. Kildare on top, Ger.
They're not winning their own puck-outs, Laois, anymore. They made a great start to the second half, thanks to Paddy Purcell and the goal by Conroy. But right now it is Kildare once again. Dara Melville leaving it short. Should be the fullbacks. Lee Clear coming out. Challenge there as he was by Jerry Keegan, and Keegan's not going to give up on it. Stymieing that attempted clearance by Lee Clear. All bottled up. Everybody putting everything they have on the line down there. Silverware is on offer. There's a chance, of course, also to play in next year's, the 2026 Leinster Senior Hurling Championship for one of these teams. The winner will be there. Referee's going to throw it in. Cathal Delaney, the number 14, against Podge Delaney. So which one of the Delaneys will come out with it, or Dowling rather. Referee's saying we'll do it again. In it goes. Kildare trying to hold on to it. I think they just managed to steal that one back. Good play by Cathal McCabe, but it's won by Lee Clear and cleared away downfield. Down it goes towards James Keys. Back to collect it here is Cian Boran, centre half back, having a very good steady match. Down there towards David Coulter, marked as he was there by Jordan Walsh, but he gets it back. He gets an opportunity maybe. David Dooley coming across, just trying to hold him up. The referee says in doing so he fouled him, and it's got to be a free in, so there'll be more work for David Coulter to do.
Yeah, as soon as you wrap the arm at all, like, you know, you can see again inside. And fairness to Michael, he's allowed that last kind of maybe 60 to 90 seconds to be really physical. You know, a lot of really aggressive hits, but, you know, once you wrap the arm at all, Joe, you're going to be caught. And Laois starting to tire a small bit. They need probably a little bit of an injection of life now from the line. You know, they've missed a couple of balls there. The Kildare half back line are way on top at the moment, so they need something to change.
Only 2 scores in the second half by Laois after 13 minutes of play. A goal and a point. A goal coming in the opening 15 seconds. Here's one for David Coulter now, and Coulter gets it inside the left-hand upright, negotiates that challenge well, gets his 10th point of the match. So 17 points now to a goal and 12. Tommy Fitzgerald of Laois concerned. Goalkeeper Cathal Dunn, but for that amazing double save, one wonders what the scoreboard would look like right now. But it's Kildare again. This is a very good spell for them. Curiously, that goal they conceded just sparked them into further life and gave them further resolve. But right now, it's Kildare and Aidan Corby trying to do something about that, get their attack going once again, trying to get some possession up to the forwards. And that's been very difficult. Look at the way in which Kildare are working together as a group, tigerish in everything they do, assured in everything they do. And that's a very good clearance back downfield again. Down it goes, but only to Podge Delaney. Slipping it out to the wings here towards Mossy Keys. On his hands and knees there against Paul Dolan. Kildare almost desperate to win silverware here in Croke Park in this second tier final in the McDonagh Cup. Showing the necessary appetite, showing good skill as well. McCabe on first. It was for Sheridan, but referee is going to haul him back.
Yeah, I don't know, you'd have to see that again, and in fairness, Michael has to make that split-second decision. Do you know, Cathal has it in his hand.
Was there sufficient separation? That's the big question.
No, probably not sufficient, but...
Meanwhile, it's Fiachra Fennell for Laois, and they needed that one pretty badly. They hadn't been scoring after getting that early goal of the second half, and now it's 17 points to a goal and 13. One between them once again, thanks to Fiachra Fennell. Laois went some 5 minutes without a goal there. Down it comes at the other end. That is Jerry Keegan. He's slick, he's clever, an experienced man who gets his second point of this cup final at Croke Park. 18 points to 113. Kildare ahead again by 2.
Great risk there as well when Jerry came out, you know, and he's been around a while, like, to understand that too. But again, I just think Laois are tiring in that half back line. They need something new here now, or different.
Well, the player there, James Keys, was out over the line, but the ball was in, the linesman has decided. Dan O'Mara winning it for Kildare, looking out to see where the support is coming from. It comes from Rian Boran, wouldn't you know it? And the 25-year-old captain elegantly plays it out to Dara Gearin. Sweeps it away downfield again, this time repulsed by Cody Comerford from the Harps, but under pressure from Cathal Dowling. Dowling still in the thick of that with two Laois players there trying to win it from him. Eventually it is Cody Comerford gets it out to Podge Delaney, slips it across to Paddy Purcell, made that great run at the very beginning of the half, and now this ambitious shot has got away left and he's missed, and it's the first wide of the second half, and they're 12th in all.
Yeah, and the lads said at half-time there as well, will they rue those chances, because they've had a number of chances, especially in the first half. Their shooting efficiency hasn't been good enough. Their shot in the second half, that's a great
That
hit.
is brilliantly done by James Burke. Big, strong man, but not able to finish. 9 wides.
It's a killer, isn't it? Like, you know, you win that ball up in the real heat of battle, and when you hit your feet, you really have to drive it over the bar.
Well, Kildare were second in Division 2 of the National League, the third section really of our National League, behind down on scoring difference, and they have made great progress. Right now James Keys is making progress for Laois, and he's got a point in each half as well. So 18 points to 114, there's still a point between them.
It's tight, Jared. You know, there's going to be very little in this. We spoke at half-time, maybe the team that gets the goal, Laois get the early goal, similar to what Offaly did last year in the start of the second half, but haven't pushed on, but a score to get them back within one again.
But it was admirable when they conceded. Kildare found the resolve to come back and go and try and get the lead back again.
Look, if there's anything in Aaron Dunphy, they have to see him at some stage now, because he's a quality player, and they do. Like, I think the lads need to look at Aaron Dunphy to take him in.
Mention of quality players, here's Paddy Purcell, and that is a lovely one from Paddy Purcell. It's his first of the day. He may have got 5 last year in the McDonagh Cup final. It's 1 today. It levels the game for the 10th time. And coming on right now is the man that Joey Fortune was talking about. That's Aaron Dunphy, number 23. And Joe, you were talking about him, and he's on.
Ah, look, he's had a poor year with injuries, but he's a top player. Anytime we come up against him, you know, he really is one of their main forwards, and he's somebody who can score at a consistent level. Again, he's gone on to a really good player here now, but look, there's a huge 15 minutes here now for both counties, Ger.
Off went Mossy Keys, the free taker. That's interesting. Here comes Cian Boran, holding on to it. Teams level, free in, chance for Kildare to go back in front again.
Yeah, and about bringing in, if you bring in Aaron, like, he's capable, and he will be capable to be really efficient on the frees as well, so I'd imagine that's what they looked at. I would have loved to see Mossy inside, you know, in regards to his pace. The boys mentioned it at half-time. If you put a ball in front of him, he'll take the man on. He's really good pace, but Dunphy's a quality free taker too, so it's a huge look. The big thing for me is today is, like, you get up here now, you can't guarantee yourself to be back here in 12 months time. You've seen Carlow, you've seen Westmeath. It doesn't happen overnight, and you have to take this opportunity today when it's there for Laois and for Kildare to try and get back up. For Kildare obviously to get Lee McCarthy, but for Laois 2022 is a long time for Laois hurling to be out of Lee McCarthy.
David Coulter looking for his 11th point of this final. It's a great contribution, and that's another great shot. Fabulous shooting on his part. So Kildare are in front again by 1. Can Brian Dowling work the oracle here? First day in Croke Park to play in the second tier final, the Joe McDonagh Cup final, and they're ahead, but there's still plenty of time to go. Nearly 15 minutes. Laois with a response. David Dooley nicely forward, intended for Paddy Purcell, couldn't take it. Again, the grouping, the sheer effort, the energy being expended by Kildare players all over the park. They're fighting for every ball, they're fighting in groups, they're fighting like tigers, and they're doing really well so far in this final. But there's still plenty of time left.
Yeah, look, you talk about that word pride, and Dowling would have mentioned that during the week, you know, to bring the levels of what they've brought here today, Ger. And it's, you know, for anybody who's not educated in regards to where hurling is, Kildare have always been coming over the last 3 or 4 years, but Brian has done a great job, and they're really doing everything they can today.
That is in there by Cody Comerford. Kildare trying to pinch it back, succeeding. Paul Dolan. Dolan with a point earlier on has left that one very, very short. Maybe not the best use of possession, because now it gives Laois the opportunity to build from the back, and Podge Delaney, a couple of challenges there, very high. It'll be a free for Laois. Can't afford to start getting ill-disciplined like that. That was Jack Sheridan, a bit wild. Free which Delaney's going to take himself. 2 points already in the first half from Freeze. Struck well down there towards Ger Quinlan, the Boris and Ossory Kilcotton player. Strongly in there, but not on target. And that is another one from Laois that has gone wide. That's the second of the second half, but it's 13 in all. They were really wasteful in the opening 35 minutes, left behind a lot of scores, several of them good goal opportunities. But there's still time for them to win this cup and to battle against a very game Kildare team showing plenty of skill and loads of heart. Lee Clear trying to get around Jerry Keegan. Free's got to go against Keegan. Clear wants to take it quickly and does so all the way down. Intended for Ben Conroy. Again, instead winning it there is Rian Boren. Into the centre to James Burke. Downfield once again, that time for Jerry Keegan. They must be tiring at this stage. It's been energy sapping. It's McCabe outside for Kildare. Out there again, the referee is allowing this one. Keegan with the shot, and that's gone over the bar.
And it's a passage of play there as well that came down to work rate, you know, and winning your own ball inside. Like, what defending again by Rian inside. Like, what a player. He's really showed up today, and, you know, he's been really aggressive in his tackle.
And once again from that Laois puck out there all over the place, but unable to benefit at the end of it, Kildare, when the ball went loose. And now it's Laois who are on an advantage. David Dooley got it out as far as Jordan Walsh, and Walsh strikes this one without any real direction in that. He'll be very disappointed. It's 14 wides for his team.
Yeah, it's poor shot selection as well when you've got a 1-on-1 inside. You know, they're going. I hope they don't rue these chances as well. And you'd want a final one. Just it's incredible amount. Their efficiency is so low today.
This is a Kildare team that will be going up into Division 1B next year, where they will be playing the likes of Clare, Wexford, your county, Joe, and Dublin as well, among others. It'll be a big, big year for them. But right now, the concentration is on winning silverware at Croke Park for a first time ever in a McDonagh Cup final. And here's another opportunity for David Qualter to push the lead out to 3. After that appallingly awful start for the second half, where they conceded after about 15 seconds, a goal scored by Ben Conroy. They're the ones who have turned it on in the second half. They're the ones who are looking like winning this match at this stage, but there's still 12 minutes at least to go. Qualter hitting it, striking it well, and that is his 12th of the match. Quite a performance.
Oh, he's had some day, Ger. Some day on Freeze, like in pressure moments as well. And like, go back to 5 games ago, they hadn't actually won a game in Joe McDonagh. They've had a really good, solid. But momentum in sport is key. You know, when you have that momentum, and Brian has it since the league, they've really pushed on since the Kerry game, haven't lost a game, and like they're in the pole position here now to win a Joe McDonagh, which would be an incredible story for Kildare hurling.
Cathal Dowling is making way, replaced by another 26-year-old. That's Jack Travers from Leixlip. And also a change here. Padraig Dunn comes on from the Harps. So on he goes, Padraig Dunn. And the man he is replacing is Cody Comerford, cornerback for a cornerback. Cody Comerford was a doubt before this match with an injury, got injured in the game against Kildare, didn't play in the last match. So the manager's making the changes. As you can see, there's about 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes still to go up the 70, and the puck out again goes awry. Dermot Conway that time in trouble. Here's a chance, saved by the goalkeeper once more. Brilliantly done, and it's put in the back of the net by the man who's only just come on. Jack Travers has scored a goal for Kildare to make it 121 to 115 with 60 minutes gone.
I just thought Cathal might do it again, George. You know, he made the first save and came over on the right-hand side, but what a finish by Travers. Kildare are in the driving seat now, 6 points up.
They talk about inspired substitutions. Oh, my goodness me. Brian Dowling has brought a man on, and he scored with his first touch. A goal here in the cup final at Croke Park. Dan O'Mara for Kildare. They're lording it over Laois at this stage. Cathal McCabe again trying to go forward past Dermot Conway. Conway trying to stand him up, helped there once again, this time by Padraig Dunn, man who's just come on to replace Cody Comerford.
It's just really given them an injection of life, hasn't it? You know, as soon as the goal went in, there was maybe that bit of belief in their eyes as well. Like, we can really do this now. We've been talking about it and talking is cheap. Like, we can really go at this, and it's just sucked the life out of Laois. you know, there's a big 10 minutes coming up here now, like, you know, for both counties. But like, what a goal, you know, what a performance so far. What a workman-like, real spirited performance from Kildare so far.
Laois have the ball back. They're 6 points behind. They lost the final last year to Offaly. They don't want to lose another one. They have time, but they need to up their game, and that's difficult against Simon Lacey and Kildare. Good ball inside, delivered in there, but won well once again by Laois. The clearance isn't a great one. It only comes out here as far as Darren Melville. Melville's on an advantage. It's got to be a free in. It'll now become a 7-point difference very shortly. Paddy Purcell annoyed by that.
Again, just a hand on the back, like, you know, probably, you know, maybe of the softer variety. You know, Michael Kenny's had a really good game. He's allowed an awful lot go, but Paddy, you know, myself, as soon as you put your hand on his back, you know, it's going to give the referee a decision to make. Like, Walter has a chance here, Jared, to put him 7 points up. You know, Kildare 7 points up on Laois, which is, you know, huge with 8-9 minutes to go.
Here's an interesting man coming on, James Duggan, a man who got 5 goals against Kerry. He replaces Mark Dowling, the number 13. Well, they still have, with added time and so on, probably 10 minutes at least.
Well, James would have been very disappointed not to see more game time than this, because he is a prolific goal scorer when he's on form, so Kildare will need to be mindful of him.
Another one for Coulter coming up, just outside the 20-metre line. This will be his 13th of an amazing performance at Croke Park. Well, I mentioned earlier he got a goal in 10, and a goal in 13 rather, in their last match, which was against Down, and now here against Laois, 13 points already. Cathal Dunn has made some great saves, but is he to be on the losing team this afternoon in the McDonagh Cup final at Croke Park? Out it goes as far as Padraig Dunn, trying to get the forwards going. They need the next couple of scores. Ger Quinlan inside towards Ben Conroy, got the touch to the ball that was finished to the net at the beginning of the second half. Richie Hogan back out. Simon Lacey now giving it as far as Dan O'Mara, and O'Mara way downfield once again, down towards McCabe. The stick there of Diarmuid Conway getting in the way, and that'll be a line ball to Kildare. Well, we wondered what kind of contribution Kildare were going to be able to make to this final today. We wondered whether they were going to be nervous and so on, but my goodness, they have been magnificent, and they're making another change now, and Moorish Curtin is about to come on, and it looks like Cathal McCabe is being forced out with an injury.
Yeah, Brian is made too, and you can see him there just chatting to Jack on the way off as well. Like, you know, like, they're bringing in, you know, Murish as well, who's been around a while too. Like, look, they have all the energy at the minute. You know, Laois are really, really under pressure here now, but you can see the energy and the life that's coming from the Kildare players at the moment, and they're not far away, Ger.
Jack Sheridan, who had that shot, by the way, that was saved by Cathal Dunn before it was finished by Jack Travers, and here they go once again with Jerry Keegan, a man who has soldiered long and hard in the colours of Kildare hurling, a man who won a Christy Ring medal way back in 2014. Now poised as Darragh Gearan fires it in, won back by Lee Clear, does well, hand passes it out as far as David Dooley, out to his left hand side as far as Ryan Mullaney. Will have been very annoyed not to have started this match. Downfield it comes once again, down towards James Keys over the sideline, off a Kildare stick, possession for Laois. Ready to take it is Aaron Dunphy. Infield once more, but that's straight there to Paul Dolan of Kildare. Just things going astray and awry from a Laois point of view. Podge Delaney steadily placing this one forward here now. Nice one for James Duggan. Duggan with 7 goals in the campaign so far. A point here to start this recovery maybe by James Duggan. That's a good score. 12 minutes since they last scored. So now back to within 6 again.
But again, Ger, if you look inside, like, he needed to go at that. He needed to go at the goal there to try and bring the back closer. But Rian Boren, once again, stand him up. If he's going to shoot from out there, we won't lose this now if we don't concede goals.
It's won once again at the back there by Laois and by Ryan Mullaney. That's a poor clearance. It's intercepted. There was a jersey pull. Here's Sheridan, Jack Sheridan to finish it off.
What a finish, Ger. What a finish.
Jack Sheridan with his 5th goal of the McDonagh campaign comes in the 66th minute, and now the gap widens, and it's Kildare 2 goals and 22 points. It's Laois 116. What a turn inside here by Sheridan. What a shot, and there was nothing in the world that Cathal Dunn could do about it, and that is a second one for Kildare. It's surely now a winner.
I said at half-time, we were just chatting, you know, just on the stats here as well. I said, if you get Sheridan on the ball and Jerry Keegan on the ball, Kildare will win this, because that's pivotal. Every team has their leader, you know, every team has the iconic guy up front who will lead it from the front. But what a finish, and what a story so far today.
He got 2 goals in the round-robin match against Laois, and 1 today. This isn't half bad. He was on an advantage anyway because Delaney had pulled his jersey. Well, that's a crisp shot, low, hard, into the back of the Laois net.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time for Naas as well. Like, you know, he's a quality player. But, you know, the finish like that on a day like today, again, you know, they see the joy on the face. But look, Laois are proud-spirited. They'll give it one last go, I think.
Paddy Purcell that time. Down across it goes. Over there towards James Duggan. 2 men waiting for it outside there. One of them is PJ Scully, and Scully gets the point. He's just in off the bench in the last 30 seconds. Back to 8 points once again between them. Time ebbing away, however. Oh, the Laois management duo there, Tommy Fitzgerald and Niall Corcoran. Disappointing day for them. Just things went pretty much haywire in the second half, and Kildare just took a firm control of things, and James Burke emphasises that with another point. Great point by him. Now they got a goal against Westmeath earlier on in the campaign, and now 2 points today. Superbly done.
Your efficiency, Judge, if your efficiency is that low as what Laois has been, especially in the first half, you know, the shot selection just wasn't right. You know, they would have missed, you know, players that weren't available today 100%. But at the same time, you have to give all credit here. Like, you want your team to be working like, you know, look at that.
That's Murray's Curtin. That's another one. And they will be playing in next year's Leinster Senior Championship against the Kilkennys and the Galways. He'll play at 4 o'clock in the Leinster final for this year. But Mirish Curtin, very, very pleased with his work there. 10 points the margin. Here comes Paddy Purcell again. Well, he's battled right to the very end, that's for certain, as you'd expect from a great warrior. 2 points for the 33-year-old from Rathdowney Earl. Looks disappointed, hard to blame him. More subs coming on now just to share the occasion. Con Keogh is the next man on, and he replaces Dara Melville.
You see a lot of those Laois players now, George. You know, there's some of them at the twilight element of their career as well. You know, that have really kind of gone to the well a lot of times for Laois hurling. And like we said earlier on, you know, Kildare take the jump now up to Lee McCarthy, but it's a long road back to get out of Joe McDonagh. 22 they went down to Joe McDonagh, haven't been able to get out. Carlow, Antrim, Westmeath, you know, down. All those teams are there, just waiting, you know, for next year to start again. So will Tommy and Niall be able to hold on to some of the older players? You know, unfortunately, over the last kind of 6 months, they've lost 2 or 3 of their significant players too, for whatever reason. And you know, Darren not going up there last year as well, you know, because he was unwell and that. So look, it's a huge day for Kildare, but we have to think as well that those Laois lads are pro guys too. But what a take!
That's James Burke once again, and Burke trying to add to the scores that they've had already. Well, once they are finished here, they will be deemed and crowned McDonagh Cup champions. As we watch Paddy Purcell go through again, try to slip the ball through the centre, taken there by James Burke, down to the middle. Out comes Ryan Mullaney, shouldered, stood strong, sees a man outside, free and ready to take it. Lee clear, and Clear fires it away left, and that, for the record, is 15 wides. Laois have another game coming up in 6 days' time. You may not want to be told that immediately. They will be playing Tipperary, I think, and that is in the preliminary quarter-final of the All-Ireland Series. Kildare, as winners, will be playing Dublin. So those matches coming up next Saturday afternoon. That's in the schedule anyway. Jack Sheridan now got a goal and 3 already here. He's got a goal and 4.
The tail is up now. Jack's tail is up, you know, on a day like today as well, like when you're 7, 8, 10, 11 points up now, Sheridan will put the balls over the bar. But look, that last shot by Clear sums up Laois's day. You know, even the selection of the shot, when you need goals, put the ball inside. But look, you'd feel for some of those guys. They've soldiered well for Laois. But Kildare, today is all about Kildare, Gerard. It's a super story as well for hurling, for people who are trying to drive hurling in counties that may not be seen as hurling counties. It's inspirational for what's been going on there for the last number of years.
That was a good block there by David Dooley from the shot there by Con Keogh. In the end, it's Simon Lacey. And Lacey, with the umpires right behind it, the goalkeeper takes it down, Cathal Dunn. Well, at half-time, people were talking in terms of would Kildare have the energy, the legs to keep going in the second half, because Laois looked like the team was going to win it. They were certainly maybe the better team of the first half, even though they came in at half-time 11 points apiece. But in the second half, in terms of sheer hunger, determination, and a desire to show everybody in the world of hurling what they're able to do, there's only been one team at it, and that's the men from Kildare.
Absolutely, and I think to question, like, athletically they're as good, as strong and as big as any team. You know, they're really well conditioned players. You can see that in fairness to Brian and all the work that they've done.
And that is Aaron Dunphy there, the free taker, putting it up and over the crossbar. So 225 to 119. More changes, and number 22 coming on is Oisin Lynham. Going off is Jerry Keegan. Well, what a performance by Jerry and his colleagues. That's the cup they're going to be taking with them on the short journey back to Kildare. The battle of the neighbours today, very, very much going in Kildare's favour. James Burke over there battling. Laois trying to win it back at this very late stage. Padraig Dunn slipping it forward to Ger Quinlan, winning his race for possession. There were two men ready to take it from them, but they were going too fast. Left it behind them. One of them was Lee Clear. Dan O'Mara got it away downfield, down to David Coulter, who's got to finish with at least 13 points to his name. Quite a performance, so many great performances on the Kildare side. That is Aidan Corby, slipping it away, but only to Dan O'Mara again. The number of times Dan O'Mara and his colleagues at the back have intercepted and won back possession. Jack Travers, who got that crucial goal, gets a point to go with the goal he got after 60 minutes. That was nearly 13 minutes ago now, but right now the margin is out to 10 points. It's a very, very healthy, substantial lead for Kildare. There's no doubt about the quality of their performance whatsoever. .226 to 119.
He just seems to have a real, you know, just in the guys that are coming in, like Brian has seemed to establish a real strong bond in the guys coming in to make an impact rather than just being part of it. And, you know, anybody who's come in has made a huge effort. But I tell you, any manager, club or anywhere else, if you want to look at the idea of what your back six should look like from a disciplined point of view, from a tackling, aggressive point of view, you know, the Kildare lads today epitomise what it means to be that. And look, I've come across Brian a couple of times. He's a really good guy, really nice fella, you know, and sometimes you don't get what you deserve. I feel for the Laois lads, they're some quality players. They've been on the road a long time now as well. But Kildare, it's all about Kildare today.
James Burke being helped off. Well, yeah, great performance, as Joe Fortune was saying, by Brian Dowling's team. The man who teaches in Kilkenny City, has been attached to the Kilkenny underage teams as a brilliant coach and a wonderful manager, and enjoying his day at Croke Park. They won the Christy Ring Cup last year. They've moved up this year, and Kildare have won the second-tier competition. They're on the way up. They are Joe McDonagh Cup winners for 2025. They had a 10-point victory today against Laois, who lose in the final for the second year in a row. This is a team on the way up. That's Brian Dowling, who has masterminded an absolutely wonderful performance when you consider that the teams were level at half-time, and then Laois came out for the second half, and with the very first attack they got a goal and put themselves 3 points up. But from there on, it was Kildare who got to grip with the challenge that was ahead of them and in front of them, and they responded magnificently. Overall, Joe, no doubt about a fantastic performance by Kildare. Deserved winners.
Oh, look, deserved winners on the day. Look, they had vision. They saw a few years ago that there was potential there in the club scene. Look, there's a man sitting to my right over here getting ready to work on the next game, Michael Duignan, with the same in Offaly, had a vision for what was needed to be done at the right time with the right people involved. And listening to the likes of John Dorn and stuff earlier on this week, they realised that there needed to be a progressive plan there for Kildare hurling. But they put it in today. They put it on the big stage. They're up to Lee McCarthy next year, you know, and they deserve it. And fair play to all involved. Hard luck to Laois, but it's a day and it's a story about Kildare hurling.
Well, I don't believe we've ever had Kildare hurlers as a team live on RT television up to now, but my goodness, we'll be seeing them again plenty of times. Great disappointment for Laois. They never really got going at all in the second half. They left a lot of goal chances behind in the first. They could have had 2 or 3 certainly. They had some very good individual performances, but it didn't work out against the hunger and the ravenous desire for victory that we saw from Kildare. Final score, it's Kildare 2 goals and 26 points. Laois 1 goal and 19.
And what a story this is. In Kildare's previous 2 times in the Joe McDonagh Cup, 2021 played 5, lost 5. 2023 played 5, lost 5. Lost their opener to Kerry, who went on to be relegated this year. And now, Neil McManus, that team, the Lily Whites, are the Joe McDonagh Cup champions, and next year will be in the Leinster Championship.
And fully deserving. This is a massive day for Kildare hurling. Such an occasion, you could hear the roars as they were coming down the home straight there. But let's not forget, Kildare have been competing really well against the Dublins, against the Wexfords, the Westmeaths and the Laois at underage level as they've been building towards this, which they have been for the last decade or so. So look, a fantastic day for Kildare hurling, with a great age profile, 2 or 3 players plus 30, everybody else below the 27 years of age mark, so they will relish the Leinster Hurling Championship next year.
It's incredible just looking at these pictures, Joe. You see Jerry Keegan there just in the front of your shot. He is a man who's been soldiering for so many years, went off travelling for a couple of years. Obviously Jack Sheridan key in the victory today, Paddy McKenna in the goal. There must be players who lined out today who thought even winning a Joe McDonagh Cup game was a bit of a pipe dream.
It's fairy tale stuff, and you can just see by the pictures the emotion, the happiness. It's they're the special moments after a game. It's those 4 or 5 minutes before the cup is presented. They're on the field with all the lads. They've soldiered together. They know all the hard training. It's all been worth it. And what a performance in the second half. They had 28 shots to 13 the second half. It was like it just flipped, you know, at half time. And the work rate out of them, like that man there, Darragh Melville, the work he done throughout the game. He didn't score, but the work he done, he turned over and everything.
And I know
brilliant.
he was one of your contenders for man of the match, but Jackie Tyrrell did say at the start of the second half, I guarantee you man of the match will be a defender. Well, Damien, who is it?
It's Cian Boran, Joanne. Cian is the GA, official GA man of the match. Uachtaráin, Jarlath Burns is here to present Cian with his award. Gurv Míle Good Uachtaráin. Cian, history for you, history for Kildare. What a lovely journey you've taken in the last few years.
Yeah, look, I'm speechless at the moment. I actually just don't know what to say, sorry. But there's been some work put in Kildare, and it's just good to see it actually pay off once in a while, you know. So
just a 10 out of 10 Christie Ring Cup wins in recent years, but no Joe McDonagh Cup win. Kerry beat you in the first round. Probably could have won that game. Heads could have dropped. It's gone the opposite direction. Can you just talk to us about the few steps you've taken since the Kerry game, Cian?
Yeah, look, after the Kerry game, I'd say like all the 15 lads walked straight into the dressing room. We were fairly mad, and yeah, it was just really disappointing. But it kind of gave us a bit of bite then for the rest of the championship. Like the lads, we never want to lose again now after that Kerry game, and look, it stood to us. So I'm kind of happy it happened. Showed us a bit of grit.
Since you're a kid growing up, Martin, Conal, you know, Reen, Tom, CJ, Conal, the whole family hurling mad. Could you ever have envisaged though a day like this, Cian? You know, so soon in your journey, you're only in college, not long out of CBS and AS either.
Yeah, look, it's a bit unlucky now for Conan because he just did his cruciate, but me and Ryan be sharing the glory with him now, and there's another young lad sending on the way, so I don't know, look, it's good to share with family, with the club, with the county, everyone in Kildare, and thanks a million for all coming out, some help in the crowd. Last question before you get your bearings. Can you just give people here a sense of the work that's gone in over the last decade and a half in Kildare for hurling? Yeah, look, like, you've probably heard the names before, but you're like the likes of John Doran, Paul Lively, there's some bit of progress going on there in the development of younger ages. Like, they were with me when I was the whole way up from under 15s, the whole way up, and yeah, look, I couldn't name everyone out. I know off the top of my head, but it's just, yeah. Cian Boran, official GA man of the match. Well done, congratulations to you.
He starts off by saying that he doesn't know what to say and then gives an interview like that. Man of the match, Cian Boran. Well, he, along with the rest of his Kildare teammates, are about to get their hands on the Joe McDonagh Cup, led, of course, by that man there, Brian Downey. Set it back to Joe and to Ger.
Yeah, it's Jarlath Burns then, Uachtaráin coming Luke Rascal to make the presentation.
Agus from Mile shot,
an cléthe den scahamaniachta de Caijan Inta Ard a Hanach Midjanu. Cogartas leis an da Erin agus ta Sulagin gan Roi live in San Cléthe Riv Cahru Canish a young couple of Shactanya. Going boy has foster leis an Rachor Michael Kineja O Tebrador and Mariana and Pashpontas Intach a hug to doing in you. Kuramagat August Tuhain, August Nakich Efagi are in Sar over in you. I also thank our sponsors today, our loyal sponsors, Boardgash Energy, Centra and Air, Gurricade Milmahagav. This cup is named after the wonderful Joe McDonagh, who was one of the best presidents we ever had. And today, he would have been proud to see representatives of 45 new clubs who have benefited from our new hurling initiative, led by William Maher, who's our head of hurling, and Kerry Riley, who is our head of hurling development. That's what he would have been most proud of today. To Laois, I want to say that you had a fantastic campaign. You're a young team, and there is no doubt that you will win this competition and be back where you belong in the Liam McCarthy Cup. I want to particularly point out your wonderful goalkeeper, Cahill Dunn, for the 3 point-blank saves that he saved today. Cogarjas live agus Beisha Barrage.
A very well-deserved mention for Cahill Dunn.
If the objective of the Hurling Development Committee is to see more counties in the Liam McCarthy Cup, they have an early result, because next year Kildare will be in it. This has been a remarkable journey, methodically planned from a hurling development plan that they issued in 2018. They have followed it to the letter, followed faithfully by all of those clubs who are promoting hurling in this wonderful county. It is a great day for all of the GAA that we're going to have a new county in the Liam McCarthy Cup next year, and we are delighted to see that. This time last year, I presented the Christie Ring Cup to your goalkeeper, Paddy McKenna. But it's a different man I have here today. His brother, Cian, got man of the match today. His other brother, Conan, would have been playing today, only he did his ACL earlier this year, and we know he'll be back. You come from a proud hurling family. You may own a plastics firm, but there was something gold about your performance today. And so, it gives me great pleasure to present the Joe McDonagh Cup to the captain of Kildare, Rian Boran.
So the big moment, GAA President Charlotte Burns presenting the Joe McDonagh Cup. Kildare are the winners, Rian Boran the captain. Winners for 2025. What a triumph, what a day for the Lilies.
Guramila Jarlath. Dawson down our menu. On Curran, Joe McDonagh, Glock Arston, Furran, Alani, Kildare! Woo! First off, I'd like to thank Michael Kennedy and his team for contributing to the great game today, and I'm wishing you best of luck in the future. To Laois, he set the bar high, lads. You were the standard to beat this year. It was a cracking game of hurling. Next, I want to thank our backroom staff, starting with our physios, Johnny and Emma. Jesus, lads, I say you're absolutely sick of seeing us now at this stage, strapping ankles and shoulders galore, thousands upon thousands. But I'm very grateful now for all the work that you've done behind the scenes. To our kit man, Willie Corkery, making sure we're well looked after on the game. Your work doesn't go unnoticed. Jerry Fitzpatrick, our psychologist, he taught us much about ourselves and each other. Thank you all for your work this year and last year, preparing for us for the battles for us to win this year. To Laura Keeley and Orlo Keefe, our nutritionists, thanks very much for your work this year. There was never a lack of info or expertise, and the group chat was always hopping. I know you didn't get much of a reaction, but we were all listening. To Mick Gillick, our S&C coach, you brought this team on leaps and bounds, lad. Your passion, enthusiasm for Kildare hurling has never dwindled. We appreciate the countless hours spent on the laptop and on the side of the pitch, making sure we were ready for the physical demands of the Joe McDonagh Championship. To our performance team, Colin Nolan, Colin Hoban, Ronan Collins, Owen Heffernan. The work you do behind the scenes, lads, is phenomenal. To Kildare County Board and all the members of the committee for the support throughout the year, thanks very much. With such special mention to John Burke, and even John Doran as well. A massive thanks to our sponsors, Brady Family Ham, and our main and our other sponsors, MBI and Weston Homes. Your support has been crucial all year, lads. To the lads who have driven on the hurling standards since day one, our coaches, Richie Ruth, Conor O'Shea and Richie Hoban. Boys, you're a top-class management team. The energy, the passion and the drive to do something great was infectious, and you made us believe in something bigger than ourselves. To the man that made everything click, the decision maker, the boss man, your work over the last 2 years has been immense. It was clear you wanted to do something more for Kildare hurling from the very start. Your leadership was an example of what the rest of us could bring. You brought us to a place we could only dream of. To Brian Dowling. To our supporters, families, friends and partners, you've stuck with us through thick and thin. I hope you'll be able to enjoy this day as much as we will. Your support has carried us through some of the toughest games we played this year, and it was no different today. Next, I'd like to thank, lastly, the lads. It's been an absolute honour all year round, and even the last couple of years. It's an honour to stand up here and accept the Joe McDonagh on behalf of you lads. There's 35 of you, and we fucking owe it to every single one of you. The honesty, the effort shown over the last number of years and the last number of months has been phenomenal. This is your day today, lads. It took a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, but fair play. You got us over the line. There's only one thing left to do, men. Let's burn the boats and celebrate like there's no tomorrow! Kildare boo!
The two brothers there, Rian looking at Cian, and in fact they were both the contenders for man of the match, because Jackie, we know that this incredible final quarter from Kildare is what really got them over the line, but if it wasn't for that spine in that defence, in fact the entire defence, would you say they wouldn't even have been in it?
If they've another couple of brothers coming, I don't know where they're going to get into that back line, because it was absolutely outstanding. Joanne, Dan O'Mara, he went to corner back. Simon Lacey was wing back, he was everywhere. Paul Dolan went off with cramp, he emptied himself. Richie Hogan, I mean, this win for Kildare was huge, but the defence, it was built on a rock-solid defence. They only conceded 119. We know 30 is the magic number, really, in terms of winning, to limit Laois to 22. But those two guys are outstanding. But special word to Cian Board. He looked a class apart. He looked so comfortable on the ball. Defensively, he looked really good. His distribution was excellent, and he was outstanding.
Okay, and all driven, of course, by a Kilkenny man who's following in the footsteps of another Kilkenny man. For the current Kildare manager is Brian Dowling.
Yeah, thanks a million, Joanne. Brian Dowling's with me, otherwise known as Ange Postecoglou. Everywhere he goes, he wins. But Brian, this is about the team. But you joined Kildare earlier. Can you tell me what you saw ahead of you, and can you tell me about the journey you've taken?
Don't compare me to a Spurs manager. I'm an Arsenal supporter, so look, I'm absolutely blown away by this. I have no words. I just can't believe it. It's just unbelievable what that group of players have done. To come back this year, we challenged them and we said, look, this might be possible to get to a final. Some amount of hard work has gone in the background. Half time, we challenged them again. We didn't think our first half was good, and by God, the second half performance, even after giving away a goal straight away, you think, oh no, what's going to happen? But what they did in that second half was unbelievable, and you know, credit to the players. I'm so happy for them now.
You mentioned to me a few weeks ago that the last year in Christy Ring allowed you to scan everything, allowed the team to build up nicely, but you bet Laois by 11 points just a few weeks ago. It was always going to be difficult to take them again. What did you focus on in the last week or two, Brian?
Yeah, look, the way I looked at it, we had to beat Laois to get here, and that was the thing. I think beating Laois gave us huge confidence, you know. I'd much rather go into a final beating a team than losing, and we needed that confidence coming in here. And the players had that belief, you know. I know there's people who are saying Kildare probably built it up too much in the last 2 weeks. We had an open night, you're there yourself on the Tuesday night. Closed up shop after that. Full focus was on this game. The lads were so focused the last since we got to this final, and just couldn't wait to get out here, you know. What better place to come out and show your hurling? And I think we did that, especially in the second half.
Brian, unbelievable win. Enjoy every second of it.
Well, yeah, no, look, we can't believe we're out again next Saturday, so I don't know what's going to happen there, but like, it's just even to think we're in the Leinster Championship next year, it's mind-blowing, but you know, so happy for the people of Kildare now, and hopefully there's loads of youngsters looking in and they'll be the next lads playing for Kildare again.
Well done again, Brian.
Thank you, Damien, thank you.
An absolute fairy tale for Kildare. You could see actually in the pictures there at the end how much it meant to Brian Dowling, despite everything that he has already done in the game. But that response, because you three said at half-time you were concerned about Kildare because Laois kept coming through the centre, and as good as their defence was, you can only hold them out for so long, and within seconds Laois had a goal.
Yeah, they were carving, you know, the Kildare defence apart in the first half at different times. We've seen it right from the start of the second half. That man again, Paddy Purcell, he is just incredibly athletic despite his years. Broke through and he caused all sorts of trouble, and it was mayhem. And obviously then at the very end you have Ben Conroy just bundles it over the line, as a good forward does. He follows in on a breaking ball in around the goal line and makes sure that it's going into the net, and everything else inside that 6-yard box is going into the net with it.
You'd feel for Paddy McKenna there. I'd say it just spun. The ball was spinning in a little greasy surface, and it just caught him the little bounce, and it was just unlucky, like, because if he looked back in that, he would have been disappointed. But they replied really well after that.
Isn't that it? And that's exactly what Brian Dowling pointed out in that interview, isn't it? Even after that went in, can you imagine the mental resolve, given that you're at this stage for the first time, to be able to respond like that?
Yeah, it was huge, and as he said, they didn't really play that well in the first half scoring wise, but they worked really hard, and then in the second half again. But here, like, what a save. It was unbelievable from Cathal Dunn, both saves, the second especially, just to get back up. Like, I'd say Jack Sheridan was going, oh, goal here in his mind, but look at this, straight away, puck out. This is straight after that goal chance. Who pops up? Jack Sheridan gets on the ball and over the bar. Like, that just settled him again. I'd say he forgot about that missed chance then straight away. But there again, Darren Melville, Jack Sheridan gone through, unlucky here. Podge Delaney had a great game, I thought, for Laois, in fairness to him. But they just put pressure and pressure on the Laois puck out and turned it over time and time again, and kept the scoreboard ticking over in that second half really well.
And then we had these goals that did come about. They must have this great confidence in themselves, Jackie, to be able to respond. As Joe said, Jack Sheridan had that little miss, and then up they popped, and he still kept going.
Yeah, and I think it's the belief of they concede a sloppy goal, they respond really strong, and it's the composure that they had, Joanne. That when these chances present themselves, Jack Travers come off, got 1-1. He did the right thing. He took the extra yard, because if he took that shot there, he could have got a block. But I love this from Jack Sheridan. Takes it on, could have taken the point. Brilliant composure, and that's the most impressive thing about Kildare. The belief, the confidence that they played with.
And he went across the way. You see the finish. He didn't go back across the body where Cathal Dunn was like holding his hurley left hand on top. He could have easily saved it maybe this side, but he went the far side, so Cathal Dunn had to go across and into the corner. It was a brilliant finish.
Let's hear what this man has to say. So Paddy McKenna has been taking the cheers from the hill over here, who's filled with Kildare people. Paddy, how long have you been playing hurling with them, Kildare?
2013 was my first year in, so an 18-year-old, yeah. So started young, brought in, and yeah, no, so it's this is unbelievable now.
At what point did you think that playing in the Leinster Senior Championship was a possibility?
There were some dark days between then and now, all right, but no, look, it's unbelievable. Like, it's, I suppose, what every kid growing up, regardless of what county you're in, is you want to be playing against the likes of Kilkenny, Galway, all these teams, you know. And look, we're going to be getting the opportunity next year now.
Neil, do you want to ask Paddy anything?
Look, Paddy, we thought a massive part of the turnaround in the second half when you got a foothold was your puck outs. How big a factor was the wind? Because you were obviously facing into it in the first half. Yeah, particularly over the Cusack stand, it was kind of hanging a bit more. But yeah, no, look, we've done so much work on our fitness and kind of high speed running and that. So, like, to be honest, it's as you all know from playing out there, there's space there and it kind of lights up for a forward. Jackie, you probably hated it, but for a goalkeeper, it's great, you know.
Give us an insight. Neil spoke about the Downey brothers at 3 and 6. Tell me about Keane. Tell me about Reen, because 3 and 6, they were outstanding today, and how they built, how they defended. They were unbelievable. What are they like to play behind?
Yeah, no, they're exceptional. Like, having Ryan in front of you, it's a brick wall, you know. And look, they dug me out of a hole there today, now, I must admit. But no, look, and Keane, like, sure, like last year Keane was playing at wing forward or centre forward for us. Conan, the other brother, the middle lad of the three that are playing with us, there's a younger lad still to come. Conan did his cruciate in the county final last year, and more than likely, if that didn't happen, he would have been centre back today, right. You know, and it's mad.
And tell me this, who put him from wing forward back to centre back? Because what a masterstroke.
Yeah, it's huge, like, and even for himself, because he was hurling with the college full forward this year, and won an all-star, a college all-star full forward this year for, I think it's CCU he's with. And but for him to come back, but like, it's like, that's what we want. Like, we play we like to say we play a nice brand of hurling where we run the ball and pump our legs, and like they're prime athletes, like, you know, and it just suits us.
You'll have a good few nights now ahead of you, but you have to get ready for next week again.
Yeah, we've Dublin next week in Newbridge.
You'll think about that Wednesday or Thursday.
Now, yeah. But there's actually 2 lads involved with them that were involved with us last year. Okay. Nigel O'Hara is the coach, and then Paul Dermody, who I actually took over from as the Kildare goalkeeper. He taught me in school, good friends with him, so he's the goalkeeping coach at Dublin. So, yeah, it's going to be a mad week or so, but look, these are the days you dream of, and it's
exciting times. You have to appreciate it and fulfil it as well.
So it's top class, man.
Well done.
Top class. We have appreciated watching that lovely brand of hurling, because it certainly was that. Well done, you enjoyed that. Best of luck next week, and we look forward to seeing you line and out here in the Leinster Championship next year.
Next year, all going well. Yeah.
Well done, Paddy. Well done, Kildare. What an incredible performance. What a fairy tale it is for the Lily Whites. And maybe there's another fairy tale on the way. We have been used to close encounters between Kilkenny and Galway. That is until this April.
Leinster hurling is where East meets West.
In this part of the world, it's more than a game. This means the world to the people of Galway. Long ball down to Big Joe. The bobble keep going westwards across the Shannon. Ball falls nicely for Richie Hogan. Here's DJ Reid. Unstoppable.
The pendulum swings again.
It's the master against the pupil. Just when you think we have a draw, incredible. Galway have beaten Kilkenny.
This was Galway's big moment here today to try to make a statement. Kilkenny rock up and do what Kilkenny do. Here's an opportunity. Killian Buckley. He can win it for Kilkenny.
He did. It's all over. What a finish.
Kilkenny have beaten Galway in the opening round.
The last thing the O'Donoghue would have needed, that's one thing for sure.
Chase it! Chase it! Go on, will ya? If it was a chicken fillet roll, you'd have no bother chasing it now, would ya?